is the hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and above all is the sacrifice. All of you would appreciate that CA course requires a lot of sacrifices to be made. Diwali celebrations are going on, and CA students are busy in their studies. They are not participating in anything, they are going through their studies. Summer holidays, all students are enjoying, and we are busy in our studies. We are going for exams, we are going for our classes. So we see everybody around us enjoying their life, but we are studying at this point of time because we know that if we study at this point of time, we can have a much, much better life afterwards. So, whenever at any point of time you feel disheartened or discouraged, you have to visualize how your life will be once you become a chartered accountant. And you all are future chartered accountants for me. So, uh, I will, in between the class, I will address you as future chartered accountants. I hope that would that would encourage you that yes, one day you all will become chartered accountants and have a pretty good life that you will get after becoming a professional. So let us see. Anybody is asking anything? In fact, one more quote which I wanted to share with you was dream, dream, dream. APJ Abdul Kalam, past president of India, who had once shared his vision that CAs are the partners in nation building. He once said that dreams transform the thoughts and thoughts results in action. So you all should dream of becoming a chartered accountant, and that dream will take you towards that action that will take you towards your target of becoming a chartered accountant. So you should, dreaming is actually not bad. You all should dream big. Then only you will be able to achieve success in your life, or you will be able to achieve big in your life. So we all should keep our targets high. We should set our targets high. Then only we'll be able to achieve them. So with this, we'll start our class. And just a minute, let me see if anybody has any ask. Yes, Anubhav is saying, ma'am, please indicate weightage of each chapter accordingly. Sure, Anubhav, don't worry. Today, first of all, I will be telling you about the subject, about how you have to approach this subject. Then we will start with the technical topic. So, first 1.5 hour or first 1 hour, we'll be discussing about this subject only. Then we will start with the technical session. So, all your queries will be taken. Let me first see what each of you have commented in the chat box. I will first of all tell you all that how you can make best out of these classes, okay? Because we want your classes to be to give you the maximum benefit. So how can you derive that maximum benefit that I'm going to share with you? Prakriti is asking, ma'am, for May 26 exam, July 2024 edition of study material is applicable or syllabus will change? No, July 24 edition will be applicable, Prakriti. Everything, these type of things I'm going to discuss with you in the class today. Okay, this is what I'm going to discuss with you in the class. Okay, let's start. So, how to derive maximum benefit from live virtual classes? For this, we have devised a 5D strategy. 5Ds you have to follow for getting maximum benefit for these classes. Ishwar is asking, you said these classes are for May 26. Okay, September 26 you're asking. Yes, Ishwar. For September 26 also, you can refer these classes. If any updates are there, you just have to refer those updates. In fact, for January 27 also, these classes will be relevant. These for these 3 attempts, but there can be separate classes also, so you can attend those dedicated classes if we have afterwards. But for September examination also, these classes are relevant, Ishwar. Satish, I'm able to see your message. Don't worry. And Mustafa, all your doubts, Mustafa, which you have asked, so that will be answered. Omkar has shared a proverb: not everyone who chased the zebra caught it, but one who caught it chased it. So it's a South African proverb. I think for motivation purpose, you are telling it, Omkar, because in fact, you can keep motivational quotes on your study table ready. In the morning when you get up and you start studying, you should first of all read a motivational quote and you should take it throughout your day. so that gets imbibed in your day-to-day life. These motivational quotes keeps us going, or these motivational thoughts keep us going. So we should always go for them. Medha is saying some alert is coming on your face. Is it others are also facing this? Please let me know. Okay, some error is coming. Just a minute. Let me see. Um, others are also saying this, that this is there. Mhm. Okay, now it's gone, Ishwarya. Please tell me it's gone. Okay, okay, fine. Maybe some technical error is there, or yes, I can see it. Let me see. Okay. This is relevant. January 26, somebody is asking. Vishal is asking, is it relevant for January 26? Vishal, for January 26, these classes are actually dedicated for May 26 examination. So, because for January 26, the Finance Act applicability is different. So, you might find certain things which are not applicable for you. They have been asked, they have been discussed in these classes. That could be there, but okay. No, no, it's okay, Medha. You informed me. That is fine. That you should have done that. Okay. Okay. So let us discuss this 5D strategy now, that how can you make best of these classes. This is decode early, devote fully, debug, draft smart, and do and apply. Now, what does this each of these words mean? Which I say when I say decode early, what it actually means. So first of all, you have to decode early means when you are coming for the class, you should first of all refer that topic at home. Before coming for the class, first of all, go through that topic. You knew that today we are going to discuss GST in India and introduction. You have your study material web hosted. Go through that chapter. Even if you go through just the headings, bold lines, sentences which we have given in bold, box items, visuals, and then the summarized portions, you will get an idea about the topic which you are going to do. So always have a glance, or always try to give a reading, just one reading to the topic which you are going to study in the class. That will give you a better idea of the class. Okay. So always have that topic in the in your mind, or you just go through that topic before the class. Then second thing is devote fully. Now once you have gone through the topic and you are in the class, then you should be fully attentive in the class. That means when you are joining these classes, any of the classes, not only GST class, any other class, at that time you should have your paper and pen ready, your notebook and pen ready with you. Whatever notes you want to make, these PPTs will be shared with you, which we will be sharing we'll be discussing in the class. But then also, you should try to make jot down your own points also. That will help you in retaining that concept properly. So try to be fully attentive in the class. Try to be participative in the class. That is very important. That whatever I am asking, you don't have any least idea of that particular question, then also you should try to answer it with some logic. Even if you answer wrongly, that helps you in getting, and you get corrected afterwards, you will retain it for a longer period कि ये गलती हुई थी मुझसे, मैंने इसमें ये गलत बोला था, ये सही आंसर है, तो वो याद रहता है. तो जो भी क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे क्लास में पूछूं, आप उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करो. दैट विल गिव यू अ कंटेंटमेंट ऑल्सो, एंड दैट विल हेल्प यू इन grasping the concept also. So, and the most important part is that attend these classes live. That means don't see the recorded lecture. Don't procrastinate your studies. आप अपनी studies को ये मत सोचो कि बाद में recorded lecture देख लेंगे, आज class हो रही है, आज तो हम कुछ दूसरा काम कर लेते हैं. If the class is going on, attend it live, ask all your doubts there. You will definitely get much better concept retention. You will grasp the topic better if you attend it live. Live class आप attend करोगे, आपको better retention होगी. आप concept भी ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ पाओगे. अपने सारे doubts तभी की तभी पूछो class में, and you leave the class after getting your all doubts cleared. So that is our suggestion, that attend all the classes live. Okay. Then next is debug. Go through the relevant portion from the study material after the class. Now, once the class is over, try to revise the concept from the study material. How will you be able to revise it from the study material? You know that this portion I have covered today. You can go to the website and the relevant portion, go through that portion once again. If you and try to do it as early as possible. If it is possible, you can do it tonight itself after the class. But if you feel tired, you can do it tomorrow morning. Try to do revise that concept as early as possible from the study material after the class. That will help you in locating those areas, debugging the areas where you were not able to, you had some lack in your understanding. कोई चीज आपको क्लास में कहीं आप रिलेट नहीं कर पाए, कुछ मिस हो गया, या आप क्लास में थे बट यू वर नॉट एबल टू कैच अप समथिंग. आई हैव ऑलवेज एडवाइस आप डाउट पूछो अपना. बट इफ यू फील कि नहीं, यू वर नॉट एबल टू आस्क योर डाउट ऑल्सो एंड सम पोर्शन वॉज लेफ्ट, go through the study material. One thing is that concept will be imprinted in your mind. Second thing, anything which was left, any gap which was there in your understanding, that will be clarified. And any doubts which are still there, mark those doubts in your notebook and you should ask it in the next class. At the beginning of the next class, you should ask your doubts that ma'am or sir, whatever, whosoever is there, ki this is my doubt, I want to get it clarified. Next thing is draft smart. Now, once you have read the study material, you have gone through the concept, you understood the concept, try to draft your own notes if you are in a habit of framing the notes. Or otherwise, you can go through the sarange booklet, which is there for the intermediate level, that is available. Printed form is also available. It is a colored booklet that is available. And it has diagrams, flowcharts, which summarize your entire concept. So refer that sarange booklet, you purchase that booklet and you try to make it your revision material for the examination day. So try to make it exhaustive because everybody should have their own customized notes. Sarange is a booklet which we have drafted for your last minute revision before the examination, but something you want to add to it, you feel that this concept also I want to add to it. This is something which you should be there in the when I want to revise before the examination. Those concepts also you should add to your sarange booklet. That will convert in the form of the notes, or you can frame your own notes if you feel, if you are into a habit of making notes. Because when you make your own notes, why I sometimes advise the students to frame their own notes, because something which you are making on your own, you are jotting down your own points, that gets imprinted in your memory and you need not remember them also. You need not memorize them. Once you go through those pages, you will immediately recall that this I had, because after so much study, you would have prepared those notes. So that is also a way of retaining the things. But that is up to your comfort, whether you want to frame your own notes or you want to go through the sarange booklet. Nidhi, if you are for January 26, you can refer these classes, but you have to be careful because Finance Act 25 amendments, though they have not yet become effective, but in some classes we might discuss them, that these are the amendments which are there. Then you have to be careful. So if you are attending these classes, you have to be a bit careful about the applicability. Okay. Many students, I think they are for January 26. Shashank is also asking. Yes, you can refer to the previous recorded lecture also. That will help you. That will help you. And yes, Priyanshi, same is the response for you also. Saransh, in Saransh, because Finance Act 25 amendments have not yet become updated or effective. So those amendments have to be you have to take care of them once they get applicable. Okay. Or otherwise, you can frame your own notes. Now, last point here was do and apply. So last D was do and apply. So once you have completed a chapter, you have prepared the notes, you know all the concepts, then go through the test your knowledge section of that particular chapter and attempt all the questions on your own. So first of all, see the question, try to solve it in your own, in your notebook, and then compare your answer with the answer given in the study material. Don't see the answer first. First of all, try to attempt that question on your own. Otherwise, if you see the answer first, you will never be able to locate the area where you lack some understanding. When we see the question and we see the answer, almost every time you will feel that you know the concept and this is well understood by you. But if you solve the question on your own, you will definitely locate some areas where you will feel that, yes, okay, this I'm not able to solve. So we always advise the students to not go through, don't jump into the answer. First of all, try to solve that question on your own. and then compare our answer with the suggested answer which is provided in the study material. You will be able to locate the area where you have gone wrong, and that will help you in actually improving that area. So this is the ideal way of solving the questions. Second thing is, whichever questions you find that you were not able to solve it correctly in the first go, mark those questions. In the revision time, you should once again go through those questions carefully and see whether you are able to now solve them correctly or not. Otherwise, you should mark those questions for the examination day. Day before exam, you should refer the points, tricky points, which were there in those questions, so that if similar question or similar point comes in the question, you are able, in the examination question, you are able to solve it correctly. You can make a gist, you can make a list of such questions also, that these questions I'm going to, these questions were tricky. So I will be able to, this was the treatment, and I have to take care of these questions or these tricky points when they appear in the examination. This will help you in solving the questions in the examination. So make a list of those tricky points, and those points you should refer day before examination, so that if a similar point comes in the exam, you are able to solve it correctly. Okay, let me see some of these. Okay, Pratiksha is asking, syllabus will be completed by which month? How many sessions will be there? Pratiksha, approximately 35 sessions, 35 to 40 sessions will be there for this particular, and there will be 2 classes in a week. Then Vishal is asking, I have books of relevant for January 26, so how may I continue with the study material? Vishal, you're appearing for January 26. Yes, so you should continue with January 26 material. Plus, you should refer the statutory update which is hosted on the website. In fact, for May 26 students also, you have to refer statutory update. I will explain you this during the course of this class. And this initial portion session, which is general in nature, you all can refer. You can understand that which publications are available, what is section-wise weightage, study guidelines, everything you will come across. Okay, so I hope that clears all your doubts. Now let us see. So this 5D strategy, I hope it is clear to you all. So you should feel confident that yes, by following this strategy, you will be able to take the maximum advantage, or you will be able to gain maximum from these classes. So now you have started your journey. Now you have started your classes. So you all should be geared up, and you should be, you should actually feel excited when you come to these classes, because now you're actually progressing in your career. Now you're actually progressing in your journey of the chartered accountancy course. And if you attend these classes carefully, all these classes, we can definitely ensure you that yes, you will be clear with your concepts. You have to just practice at home. You have to be consistent. Be consistent. So don't just hop on 1 or 2 classes. Once one class you have done live, one class you have done recorded, or in mid you have left few sessions. No, be very consistent and very regular. Definitely you will be achieving success in your exam, but you have to keep your hard work and perseverance with you. So let us see. So you have to stay motivated. As I already told you, keep motivational quotes on your study table or in your study room, or visualize when you become a chartered accountant, how proud your parents will feel. So at times when you feel demotivated, you have to keep yourself going. So for that, you have to stay motivated. You can visualize the life which will be there once you become a chartered accountant. And as I already told you, how proud your parents will be. So that all these things motivate us to keep going in adverse situations also, because at times we might feel low about this also, that the studies are not going the way we planned, or things are not going the way we have thought they will go. So at that time we have to keep going. And throughout this study period, as well as in exams, you have to maintain some lifestyle habits which will help you in a better memory. First is sound sleep. You have to take a sound sleep. Whatever, maybe your sleep hours may get reduced, but they should be free of any distractions. Try to refer to your the social media as less as possible. Only for getting the updates, or only for just for taking the breaks you can refer it. But try to be away from the distractions and have a balanced diet, so that you are always energized for studies, and try to maintain the schedule which you will be making for your studies. We'll be sharing in course of these classes, we'll be sharing you with the schedule also, how you need to make the schedule. But first of all, let's start with the classes. Then we'll be in the due course of the classes, we'll be sharing with you the schedule also. So achieving success in the examination, how can you achieve success in the exams finally? So first thing is that, as we already discussed, believe in yourself that you will be able to do it, and be consistent. Be regular in the class, be regular in self-study also. Once the class is over, study that topic. Don't think that I will do it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, on weekends. No. You have attended the class, try to revise it as early as possible. Even you give 10 minutes, 15 minutes to that particular topic because you have already done it in the class. So when you go through the topic from the study material, it will be easy for you to find out the things and relate with them, that yes, this I have already studied, and you will be able to retain it. And then you have to do the practice questions. So once your topic is complete, then you have to practice as many questions as possible. You have lot many inputs which are available through Board of Studies. Those publications I will discuss with you, that what all publications are there for you for practicing questions, for practicing concepts, MCQ, scenario based MCQs which are asked in the exams, that I will be sharing with you. And on the examination day or day before exam, you have to revise everything. In fact, before that also you have to revise. Uh, through mock test papers, through revision test papers, you have to revise. But day before exam also, an effective revision strategy has to be framed. So all these things, how you are going to do that, we will discuss in due course of time, because today is not your exam day. Today is the day to start your studies. So how you can effectively revise, that we will be sharing in due course of time. I'm just telling you that yes, effective revision is also very important. But for effective revision, one step which you have to start today is that you have to start preparing your notes or revision material for day before exam. Whatever material you are going to use for revising day before exam should be prepared today. Don't feel that 2 or 3 weeks before exam I will prepare some material, or I will refer some material, or somebody will make some good material for me, or some publication will come. You should make it today only. You should refer the material today only, that yes, this is the material you're going to refer for your exam. Each chapter which you are completing will be considered complete only when you have a complete revision material with you. Okay, that you should ensure today itself. So your foundation for your success in intermediate exam will start today. These classes have just started, so don't miss any of these classes. Attend them carefully, attend them very, very sincerely. Prepare notes which you will be using for exams also. And all the questions which you are attempting, as I already suggested you, try to highlight the tricky points also in those questions. Okay. Okay, let me see. Indrani is saying something. Yes, Indrani, these classes you can refer for September 26th also. And Medha is saying, is there any amendments in GST? I have January 26 dates. Yes, Medha, if you are attempting for May 26 examination, definitely you should refer the updated study material, because there are amendments in GST. Azra is saying, ma'am, for May 26, when to order the books? I will tell you, Azra, when we'll be discussing publications, I will tell you everything. Saipa is saying, I have May 24 and November 24 books. Okay. So, Saipa, you should refer the updated books, because lot many circulars, lot many Finance Act amendments have taken place. Circulars I already discussed. Notifications have also been issued. Rules have undergone change. So better to refer the updated study material. Medha is asking, when should we order the book? So let me come to this question first. So module 1 has already been web hosted on BOS Knowledge Portal. We'll go through that also. And module 2 will also be web hosted maybe within a day or two. By this weekend, module 2, we are expecting that it might get web hosted, or by next week, it will be web hosted. You can order your books. You have to refer the CDS portal, maybe next week or so. You might see the books to order. The edition is July 2025 edition of Intermediate Paper-3B. You should order. And those books you should refer for May 26 examination. Yes, changes are there, Medha, so you should refer that material, I would suggest. For January 26 Kinnary, you have to see the statutory update. Along with the earlier study material, you have to see the statutory update. Okay. Ishwarya is saying, I have got the books now for September 26. Okay. So, Ishwarya, your attempt was due for May 26th, na? Then what you can do, Ishwarya, you can refer the bold italics portion in the study material where we have highlighted the amendments. We have highlighted the amended portion in bold italics, so you can refer that also. But we generally suggest the students to purchase new materials, so not, because we don't want them to take a chance if they might miss any amendment or any change which is there in the study material. So we generally suggest the students, but you just got the material. That is an issue that you got the old material. Okay, so for currently you can start your studies from that material, but I would suggest you to refer the updated material only. Aishwarya is saying for January 26 you order the study material. So Aishwarya, your attempt is in January 26 or it is after that? May 26 booklets will be very soon available on CDS portal. Then you can order it. By the time you can refer the material from the website. So today, chapter 1, it is there on the website. You can refer that. I will go through that also. How to make notes for this subject. I will tell you, Vedant, don't worry. During the course of the class, we'll discuss. If we understand the concept, that can we write in our own language in theoretical questions. Indrani is asking. Very, very important question, Indrani. This is the pain area of, I think, almost every student. In fact, you have just entered the intermediate course. If you ask your seniors who are in intermediate or final, they will tell you that we write the answers in our own language and we don't get the marks. And this is the reason we don't get the marks, because we write the answers in our own language and not in the language of the ICAI study material. But this much I can assure you that it is never a case that a student's marks are deducted because he has not written it in the study material language. No. We always suggest the students to write the answers in their own language, but the meaning should be conveyed properly. Same meaning should be conveyed which a provision provides. That does not mean that you have to use the exact same words. But if when I'm writing it in my own words, if somehow I have changed the meaning of the provision also, then definitely I cannot get the marks. So that is very, very important that when you are writing it in your own language or you want to write it in your own language in the exam, have some practice before the exam. That will help you, because if you start writing on the day of the exam only na, you will not be able to write it properly. अगर आपने एग्जाम वाले दिन अपने वर्ड्स में लिखना शुरू किया तो क्या होगा, आप कुछ मीनिंग सोच रहे हो कि मैं ये कन्वे करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ इस आंसर में, बट एक्चुअली में मीनिंग कुछ और कन्वे हो रहा है. आपकी राइटिंग स्किल्स को आपको इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा अगर आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में लिखना चाहते हो. एंड वी ऑलवेज सजेस्ट कि आपको अपनी लैंग्वेज में ही लिखना चाहिए. आपको सिर्फ प्रोविजन को समझना है, उसको क्वेश्चन में अप्लाई करना है और अपने वर्ड्स में आप प्रोविजन को लिख सकते हो. बट ओनली थिंग इज सेम मीनिंग शुड बी कन्वेड. और उसका ये मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं है कि आईसीआई स्टडी मटेरियल की लैंग्वेज आपको लिखनी है, बट मीनिंग सेम कन्वे होना चाहिए. और इस बात से आप भी एग्री करोगे कि अगर आपने प्रोविजन का मतलब चेंज कर दिया तो आपको मार्क्स नहीं मिल सकते. तो इसलिए ये ध्यान आपको रखना है. ओके ऐश्वर्या, let us see what it can be done. Okay, Medha, I can try this, or let us see if anything can be done for the study material, because some of you have already ordered the old edition of the study material. Okay. Ishwarya, I think you should buy the new material. Let us see. Let me think of something if anything can be done. Azra is asking, can we write definitions also in our own language? Yes, definitely you can write definition also in your own language. कोई भी क्वेश्चन जो आपका प्रोविजन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है जिसमें आपको डायरेक्ट प्रोविजन रीट्रेट करना है, यू कैन राइट इट इन योर ओन वर्ड्स. मीनिंग सेम कन्वे होना चाहिए बस. डेफिनेशंस में जनरली देयर इज अ लेसर स्कोप फॉर राइटिंग इन योर ओन लैंग्वेज, क्योंकि उसमें एवरी वर्ड हैज अ वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट, वेरी ग्रेट सिग्निफिकेंस. हर चीज जो उसमें इंक्लूड एक्सक्लूड की जाती है उसका थोड़ा एक सिग्निफिकेंस होता है. तो जनरली डेफिनेशंस के लिए ऐसा कहा जाता है कि ट्राई टू राइट द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द लॉ. बट इफ यू आर एबल टू कम्युनिकेट द सेम मीनिंग, दैट्स नॉट एन इशू. बस आपको समझ, क्योंकि डेफिनेशंस में यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल while memorizing the definitions. And that I will tell you during the course of the study also, when we'll be studying the topic, कि आप कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या चीजें भूल जाओगे जब आप सप्लाई की डेफिनेशन करोगे. तो बहुत ही कैजुअली वी रीड अ प्रोविजन एंड वी फील वी नो एवरीथिंग एंड वील बी एबल टू अटेम्प्ट इट इन द एग्जाम. बट जब हम एग्जाम में लिखने बैठते हैं तो हम आधे पॉइंट्स भूल चुके होते हैं और हमें लगता है कि हमने पूरी डेफिनेशन सही से लिख दी थी, बस मार्क्स नहीं मिले. तो ये जो एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है ना, कि हमने अच्छे से पेपर किया था, मार्क्स नहीं मिले, वो शायद धीरे धीरे से लिख दी थी, बस मार्क्स नहीं मिले. तो ये जो एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है ना, कि हमने अच्छे से पेपर किया था, मार्क्स नहीं मिले, वो शायद धीरे धीरे हम रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं. ओनली थिंग वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि ये कैसे होगा, और उसके लिए यही आपको करना है, सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट्स, यू शुड नो दी सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट्स ऑफ अ प्रोविजन की अप्लाई की डेफिनेशन पढ़ रहे हो, या आप अगर चार्ज के प्रोविजंस पढ़ रहे हो, then what are the significant points you have to write? That will okay then. Yeah. So those students who have bought an earlier edition, we will see if something. I can only tell you some stop arrangement, but I will try to think. Fine. Let us see. Uh, Regarding the WhatsApp group, you will let me convert it in the break. Maybe after you, or can you join that? Okay. Many students are for January 26th. By what time we'll cover the syllabus? That I told you, Hina, that we'll be having 2 classes per week, and we have approximately 35 to 40 classes overall. जो GST में notes कैसे बनाने हैं, पूरा ही थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट है। फर्स्ट टाइम पढ़ रहे हो या आप पहले एक बार पढ़ चुके हैं, आई एम नॉट अवेयर, बट जीएसटी इज नॉट एट ऑल अ थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट। अभी आप इसको पढ़ोगे, यू विल फाइंड इट सो। और मैं आपसे बताऊंगी, जीएसटी इज वेरी वेरी सब्जेक्ट। आप माइंड की जीएसटी इज वेरी स्कोरिंग बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इजी, नो, इट इज वेरी स्कोरिंग because you have the study material. In study material we covered it in a very very comprehensive and engaging manner. अगर आप उसको उसी समझोगे, क्लासेस साथ में अटेंड करोगे, तो आपके लिए बहुत ही स्कोरिंग बन जाएगा, लेकिन आपको उसको समझना पड़ेगा। और ये थ्योरल नहीं है। अगर आप क्वेश्चंस भी देखोगे, प्रॉपर एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, उसमें तो आप नोट्स बहुत बना सकते हो, बिकॉज यू हैव टू अप्लाई दोस क्वेश्चन एग्जामिनेशन। सो आप सारांश बुकलेट देखो, उसमें आपको एक आइडिया मिलेगा कैसे नोट्स बनाने हैं। Okay, Meeta is saying you have okay. Soumya is saying class, start the class because study material. Okay, let's go to the next point. Okay, because this way we should actually go through the material or go through the syllabus first of all. So taxation subject is a 100 marks paper, and it has 2 sections. First is your income tax law parts. Service tax also carries same weightage of. This is, I think all of you know this thing. Okay. Next is applicable provisions for May 26 examination. This is very important because you have to answer all your questions based on this position of law. Okay. Finance Act 25 will be applicable. Those amendments of Finance Act 25 which have become effective. Now, why this has been mentioned, which have become effective. अगर आप इनकम टैक्स लॉ एक्टिव हो गए, सिर्फ वही एप्लीकेबल होंगे. दिस इज एक्चुअली द जीएसटी लॉ फ्रॉम income tax law. Income tax, under income tax, all the provisions get effective generally when your Finance Act becomes is enacted. Finance Act को जैसे ही assent मिलती है president की, almost provisions effective हो जाते हैं. Dates might be different from which they will be effective. But GST में क्या होता है? GST is a legislation which has to be, central legislation is passed, but वही सेम चेंजेस स्टेट एक्ट्स, स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर्स को भी पास करने पड़ते हैं. स्टेट्स आल्सो हैव टू मेक दोस चेंजेस इन देयर स्टेट जीएसटी एक्ट्स. फॉर दैट दे नीड आल्सो टेक सम टाइम. हर स्टेट को अपने जो है इसमें लेके जाना पड़ता है लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली में, एंड देन दोस चेंजेस आर प्रपोज्ड, देन ऑल दोस प्रोसेसेस आर फॉलोड एंड दे गेट इनेक्टेड. So changes become effective from a date. Finance Act के amendments जो हैं from डेट ऐसी नोटिफाई की जाएगी जिससे ये सारे चेंजेस इफेक्टिव होंगे, एंड दैट इज जनरली गिवन आफ्टरवर्ड्स. वो काफी बाद की डेट होती है. जैसे अभी मैं बोलूँ तो टिल टुडे नो चेंज, दीज फाइनेंस एक्ट चेंजेस हैव नॉट येट बिकम इफेक्टिव. सो दोस चेंजेस विल बिकम इफेक्टिव फ्रॉम अ डेट टू बी नोटिफाइड. और वो डेट और 31 अक्टूबर 2025 इज योर कट ऑफ डेट. तो इस डेट तक जितने चेंजेस हमारे फाइनेंस एक्ट के इफेक्टिव हो जाएंगे. मान लीजिए कोई चेंज 1 नवंबर से इफेक्टिव हो रहा है, जैसे कि which happened last time for Finance Number 2 Act 2024. Some changes became effective from a later date, from 1st November. Now, cutoff date is 31st October. So those are not effective for May 26, May 25 talk about. So those amendments which became effective till 31st October will only be relevant for your May 26 examination. Same goes for notifications as well as circulars. So those notifications, circulars which have become effective. So the key word here becomes effective. जो भी changes आपके 31st October तक effective हो जाएंगे वो आपके लिए relevant होंगे. अब उसके लिए हम देखते हैं कौन से material हमें relevant है, which publications we have to see. First is the study material. Study material, in fact, we have new features of the and I will go through the study material and tell you those features also. But before that, let us go through the all publications. Then we have the revision test papers. That means the RTPs which come around some time before the examination. So they help you in revising the concepts, practicing the question for the examination. Mock test paper help you in appearing in the exam like conditions. You should have a dedicated time and you should go for the mock test paper under the 3 hours dedicated time. When you have that time with you, then only go for that. Either you can go to your nearest branch, or if you're attempting at home, then try to do it under that fixed 3 hours time. So sit at one place and attempt the paper in one go so that you can have the time management also. Then we have the statutory update also. For May 26, we'll be having a statutory update, which will be hosted on the BOS Knowledge Portal. And amendments from 1st May till 30th October will be what. Then we have sarange reference, which is for the revision day before examination. So let us go through the features of the study material, and I will take you through the material. So see, this is the BOS Knowledge Portal. Quickly tell me in the chat box if you are aware of the BOS Knowledge Portal, or how many of you have already gone through BOS Knowledge Portal once. घर पे देते हो तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Regarding old books, we'll see what to be done. Okay, Prakriti was aware of BOS Knowledge Portal. Prashan was aware. Okay. One link, just to inform you all, BOS WhatsApp group joining link has been in the messages in the box. So all of them join that. And okay, Nausheen was also aware. Satish is saying he was aware. Vishal, yes. Okay, so many students are aware of. So that's good to see that all of you are aware of the BOS Knowledge Portal. Indrani is saying, then Muzahid, okay, Lalit. So good to see that all of you know about BOS Knowledge Portal, because this is the main platform which you all should be aware of. Okay, Azra. In fact, I have got 24 chats. So Vedant is there. Then Aishwarya. Okay, and Soumya is also aware. So this shows that all of you are aware of this. Harsh is also saying. So I have taken lot many names, and still others are telling Himanshi, then Pooja, and then Sakti, Darshan, Riddhiben, Aryan, Mustafa, Abhinav, and then Krishna, Thamara Selvi, Purnima, Insia, then Vaishnavi, Sharmila, Nitin. All of you are aware. So it's good to see that all of you are aware. And this person, yes, some person has mentioned a dash in his name. So I'm not aware. Pravina, then Sony, Anita, Rosie, all of you are aware. So very, very happy to see that most of you know about BOS Knowledge Portal. And this is the main platform which you should refer regularly during your CA course study. I told you, stay away from social media, stay away from distractions, but this is समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट यू शुड रेफर. सो ये एक ऐसा मीडियम है जो आपको ऑलमोस्ट एवरी ऑल्टरनेट डे, एवरी डे यू शुड रेफर. कोई अनाउंसमेंट है, इनफैक्ट बीओएस ऐप आपको डाउनलोड कर लेना चाहिए सबसे पहले, क्योंकि उस ऐप को डाउनलोड करके आपको पुश नोटिफिकेशंस आती रहेंगी. जो भी नई चीज आपकी वेबसाइट पे आती है, दैट विल बी इन्फॉर्म्ड टू यू थ्रू पुश नोटिफिकेशन. सो यू शुड डाउनलोड बीओएस ऐप. बीओएस ऐप भी डाउनलोड करो. उसके अलावा जो आपका ये वेबसाइट है, अगर आप देखोगे, इसमें आपकी सारा बीओएस का कंटेंट इज कंपाइल्ड और इज concentrated at one place, so you can know the entire you know resources or the inputs which BOS is providing you. They are digitized and they have been provided at one place in this BOS knowledge portal. तो ये तो इतना important platform है जो आपको रोज देखना चाहिए, मतलब रेगुलरली देखना चाहिए. Now here in study material, I am going in intermediate and I am going through the study material for May 26 examination. Okay, module 1 is there. Module 2 will be very soon web hosted. It is already under preparation. It is almost complete, so it will be web hosted. Maybe by beginning of the next week or by end of this week, it will be hosted. Now let us go through one of the chapters so that we can see the key features which we have highlighted through this. Okay. So let us see one of the chapters I'm opening for you. I want to show it to you. First of all, at the beginning of the chapter, we have the learning outcomes. Now, learning outcomes actually demonstrate, we have discussed here. पहला feature है learning outcome. फिर है chapter overview. फिर systematic flow of the chapter. What is the systematic flow of GST chapter? There will be statutory provision first, and then there will be analysis of that provision. ये सबसे important USP है study material का, सबसे important unique feature है, और you will say the significant feature of the study material. Generally, students are not into the habit of reading the bare act, bare rules. That is why we have incorporated here. हमने यहाँ पे इसीलिए डाला है कि आपको bare act पढ़ने की आदत पड़े. सीधा प्रोविजन का एनालिसिस पढ़ने से क्या होता है कि यू आर नॉट इनटू अ हैबिट ऑफ रीडिंग द बेयर एक्ट. जब व्हेन यू गो टू द फाइनल, देन यू और मेनी ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स दे गेट पैनिक्ड कि ये बेयर एक्ट क्या होता है, बेयर रूल्स क्या है, हम कैसे पढ़ पाएंगे. हमें तो सिर्फ एक शॉर्ट में समरी चाहिए होती है जिसको रेफर करके हम एग्जाम देने जाते हैं. बट दिस विल इनकलकेट अ हैबिट टू रीड द बेयर एक्ट एंड बेयर रूल्स. We generally suggest the students to go through the statutory provision and then go through the analysis. आपको बहुत अच्छे से सारा provision समझ आएगा. Then we have let us recapitulate, which is actually the pictorial summary of the entire chapter. Test your knowledge is the exercise portion. We'll go through all these once we see the chapter. फिर आता है crossword puzzle. Crossword puzzle end में हर chapter की दी हुई है, and try to solve it whenever you got bored with doing something or you are getting you are feeling monotony in your studies. तो आप crossword puzzle खोल के उसको solve करना शुरू कर सकते हैं. That will break your monotony. तो इसीलिए क्रॉसवर्ड पजल्स हैं. और फिर है क्विजेस के क्वेश्चंस. क्विज टाइम क्वेश्चंस आप देखोगे सारे सब्सटैंटिव चैप्टर्स में क्विज टाइम के क्वेश्चंस हैं, और जो आपके प्रोसीजरल चैप्टर्स हैं उसमें रैपिड फायर के क्वेश्चंस हैं. तो ये दोनों फीचर्स हैं बेसिकली आपकी गेमिफिकेशन को स्टडीज में इनकॉर्पोरेट करने के लिए. यानी कि आपको जब आप पढ़ रहे हो तो आपको एक इंटरेस्ट जनरेट होना चाहिए कि हाँ स्टडीज में मोनोटनी नहीं है. So that I will show you in the study material. You will find that yes, what is the how these features are incorporated. सबसे पहले learning outcomes है. Learning outcomes tell you the objective of the chapter or the outcomes which you have to demonstrate once you complete this chapter. So once you complete the chapter of supply, you will be able to understand the taxable event. You will be able to understand to analyze the taxable event, identify the transactions that will amount to supply, ट्रांजेक्शंस विच विल नीदर बी सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स नॉर सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज. तो ये सारे जो आपके आउटकम्स हैं, वंस यू कंप्लीट दिस चैप्टर यू विल बी एबल टू डू दीज थिंग्स. ये सारे आउटकम्स आप अचीव कर पाओगे. दिस वी आर टेलिंग यू. सो दिस यू हैव टू स्टडी दिस चैप्टर इन अ वे कि आप ये सारे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स अचीव कर सकते हो आफ्टर स्टडीइंग दिस चैप्टर. देन कम्स एन ओवरव्यू ऑफ द चैप्टर कि इस चैप्टर में आप क्या क्या टॉपिक्स पढ़ोगे, वो कौन से हैं. मैंने सप्लाई का चैप्टर इसीलिए उठाया क्योंकि सप्लाई के चैप्टर में आपका मेन कोर, इट इज द हार्ट ऑफ जीएसटी. तो आप पहले उस चैप्टर को देखो कि उसमें किस तरीके से सारा फ्लो है. एंड दिस इज सेम फॉर ऑल द चैप्टर्स. सारे चैप्टर्स में यही फ्लो आपको मिलेगा. सो वी हैव एन ओवरव्यू, चैप्टर ओवरव्यू, किस तरह से हम चैप्टर आपका चलेगा. सप्लाई का मीनिंग क्या है, कौन सी ट्रांजेक्शन्स जो है वो आपकी, अगर मतलब फॉर इट इज नॉट फॉर कंसिडरेशन, देन व्हेन इट डीम्ड सप्लाई कौन सी है, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ सप्लाई इनटू गुड्स और सर्विसेज, व्हिच आर द ट्रांजैक्शंस व्हिच विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, दैट मींस नॉन सप्लाईज, नेगेटिव लिस्ट जिसको हम शेड्यूल 3 में लेते हैं. So this gives you a whole idea कि हाँ chapter comprises of what. We have the concept of mixed and composite supply also discussed in this chapter. तो इस chapter में हमने ये सारे concepts discuss किए हैं which are there in the chapter overview. वो आपको chapter overview बताता है. उसके बाद आप देखोगे chapter, I'm scrolling the chapter for you and you will find that at relevant places we have the visual aids also. We'll see the chapter. In fact, before that, let us see the statutory provisions. I told you कि पहले हमने हर provision का statutory, हर टॉपिक का स्टैट्यूटरी प्रोविजन दिया है. दैट इज दिस इज द पोर्शन ऑफ द बेयर एक्ट. सेक्शन 7 क्या कहता है, दैट इज देयर. देन वी हैव गिवन द एनालिसिस. उसका एनालिसिस यानी सिंपल भाषा में, सिंपल शब्दों में, आसान भाषा में उसको हम कैसे एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं अपने शब्दों में, वो हमने यहाँ एक्सप्लेन किया है. दैट हेल्प्स यू इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दी न्यूएंस. आप देखो एक ये 2 पेज का सेक्शन टोटल भी नहीं है, शायद 1.5 पेज में ये सेक्शन कवर हो रहा है, और आप उसका एनालिसिस देखोगे इट गोज इन नंबर ऑफ पेजेस. उसको बहुत अच्छे से एक एक सेक्शन को लेके पूरा ब्रेक करके एक्सप्लेन किया गया. एग्जाम्पल्स, पिक्टोरियल रिप्रेजेंटेशंस, डायग्राम्स, फ्लो चार्ट्स, प्रॉपर पूरा विजुअल एड्स भी बीच बीच में यूज किए हैं. विजुअल एड्स से क्या होता है, आपका रिटेंशन बढ़ता है. मुझे कोई टॉपिक याद आता है, मुझे लगता है अच्छा ये जैसे मुझे कोई टॉपिक है, लॉटरी का कुछ है, या सम सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड आउटसाइड इंडिया, तो मुझे अगर एक आई हैव सीन अ पिक्चर रिलेटिंग टू दैट, आई एम एबल टू रिकॉल इट ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम इन अ बेटर मैनर. मेमोराइज करने के लिए ज्यादा आसान पड़ता है. इनफैक्ट मेमोराइजेशन टेक्निक्स ऑल्सो वील शेयर ड्यूरिंग द क्लास, कि आप कैसे आसानी से उस टॉपिक को मेमोराइज कर सकते हो. बी विद अस इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन ऑल्सो फॉर द फर्स्ट चैप्टर. आपको बहुत सारी मेमोराइजेशन टेक्निक्स विल बी शेयरिंग. This is the analysis of the chapter. This is again a diagram which tells you the entire structure of section 7. Then this is the each section has been broken up. So this is only section 7 which is going definition, and you can see how it has been presented in the study material. We have given lot many examples. आपको हर topic पे बहुत सारे examples भी मिलेंगे. Illustrations भी हैं जहाँ relevant places पे हैं. And then the topic has been explained. So I was talking about the visual aid. So that helps in retaining the topic. These visual aids are also there at appropriate places. You can see so many examples are there. And these, clouds which are there in between, they have some out of box thinking topics or something which some exceptions are discussed here. So we are saying that consideration is very important, but yes, there is one exception. So we'll be discussing it afterwards. That exception we'll be explaining afterwards. But यहाँ पर एक आपको बल्ब जैसा दिख गया कि हाँ ये कुछ है जो आपको अपने माइंड में अभी सोच के रखना है. You have to park it somewhere कि हाँ ये एक thought है which I will be relating afterwards. So this is how it has been developed. Then we come to schedule 1. फिर schedule 1 के provisions है. So this is how the entire material will go. Entire chapter will go. You can see how it has been designed. And then we have at the end, we have the let us recapitulate section. So this is the entire content which is being discussed. And then we have the, yes. So this is let us recapitulate section. You can refer either this let us recapitulate section or you can refer sarange also. This let us recapitulate section is updated for May 26 examination. So some students were asking about the sarange booklet also. So this is the updated one. And this has a almost same, this is on the same pattern as sarange booklet is there. But अगर आपको अपना material मिलेगा तो उसमें colored form में नहीं होगा, बस इतना आपको difference लगेगा. On website it is in 2-3 colors, but वहाँ पर ये colored form में नहीं मिलेगा. So whatever amendments have been made by the Finance Number 2 Act, we have incorporated it in the material, and we have, see, this is the whole chart for the, to understand whether a particular supply or a particular activity is supply or not. This is the whole flow chart which explains कि एक activity आपने देखी, उसके बाद आप consideration है या नहीं है, उस business test satisfy हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा, and through going through this flow chart, you can actually conclude that whether the activity is supply or not. Then comes the test your knowledge section. And in fact, I forgot to show you the quiz time questions. That will also, I will show you that quiz time questions कैसे हैं. This is the crossword. Now यहाँ crossword में आपको hints दिए हुए हैं and you have to answer on the basis. You have to fill this crossword. So whenever you feel कि हाँ अभी थोड़ा सा boring हो रहा है, तो you can go through the crosswords also. Chapter पूरा करने के बाद आप इसको attempt करने की कोशिश करना. Students. Okay. And let me show you a quiz time question. Yes. So this is the quiz time question, or this is the MCQ which is there. And remember, these MCQs have very tricky points in them. ये ऐसे ही सिर्फ आपके MCQ बनाने के लिए MCQs नहीं डाले हैं, इनका पर्पस है कि इसमें बहुत tricky points आपके टेस्ट होंगे. So when you are doing a particular topic and you come across this quiz time question, try to attempt it. We have not given any answer in the book for these MCQs as well as for these crossword puzzles. There is a scan code, QR code, which is given at the end of the chapter. उसको स्कैन करोगे तब आपका आंसर आएगा, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने बोला कि टेस्ट योर नॉलेज में भी यही होता है कि वी आर टेम्पटेड टू आंसर, सी दी आंसर फर्स्ट. हमारा एक टेम्पटेशन होता है कि पहले आंसर देख लेते हैं. तो इसलिए सारांश बुकलेट पूर्णिमा स्टडी के साथ नहीं मिलती, आपको अलग से परचेज करनी पड़ेगी. तो ये जो क्विज टाइम के क्वेश्चन है, जो इसके भी आंसर्स आपको स्कैन करके जो क्यूआर कोड है स्कैन करके देखना पड़ेगा, एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू सी दी आंसर, करेक्ट आंसर. तो सारे आप क्विज टाइम क्वेश्चंस, क्रॉसवर्ड पजल्स खुद से सॉल्व करके देन यू कैन स्कैन द कोड एंड यू कैन रेफर द आंसर्स. बट डू दीज क्विज टाइम क्वेश्चंस रिलीजियसली एंड यू विल बी, मतलब यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दी फाइनर कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन ईच ऑफ दीज एमसीक्यू. हर एमसीक्यू के अंदर आपका एक बहुत फाइन पॉइंट टेस्ट होता है. We get lot many queries from the students based on this, because in the first instance they are not able to understand these MCQs. पर इनका पर्पस ये नहीं है कि आपको डराना, इनका पर्पस ये है कि आप इनसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स, जो ट्रिकी पॉइंट्स है, उन्हें समझें. क्योंकि हमारा पर्पस सिर्फ लॉ को पढ़ना नहीं है, उसको अप्लाई भी करना है, तभी हम एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस कर पाएंगे. इसीलिए मैं बोलती हूँ कि बच्चों को लॉ जीएसटी के लिए ऐसा इंप्रेशन है कि बहुत ईजी है, बट दे गेट टू नो दिस सब्जेक्ट when they understand it properly, then they are able to apply it properly in the exam and score better. So if you want to score in this paper, you have to attempt the paper, or you have to go through the provisions thoroughly. आपको बहुत thoroughly provisions को पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Okay, so let us go to the next point now. So the study material we have amply covered. And in fact, I will once again go through this BOS knowledge portal, because I want to show some more publications to you here, which are available for the students for examination. See, these are the revision test papers, which are presently available for September examination. All amendments and statutory update are available here. For May 26 also, you will be having statutory update that will be web hosted here. Then we have the model test papers. These are the exam-like papers. Overall, 8 papers are there. You should attempt these papers. That will help you in clearing your concepts, and you can attempt them in exam-like conditions. So some students who are there for January 26 should definitely go for these model test papers, and they should attempt them. Or otherwise, you can see the mock test paper series also. Okay, you have even seen the sarange booklet also, Abhinav. That is good. So most of you have gone through the BOS knowledge portal. Now let us go to the presentation again. So these publications we have already discussed. Statutory update for May 26, very, very important. So along with study material, you have to refer this also. Okay. Let us come to the next point, and that is the section-wise and skill-wise weightage. Somebody asked me about the section-wise weightage in the beginning of the session itself. Section-wise weightage hota kya hai? Let us go through it once. We'll open it and then we'll discuss it. So section-wise weightage में हम पूरे syllabus को different parts में divide कर देते हैं, and we see that which section carries which, how much weightage. This is a way to explain you in a way the concept of the study material, or sorry, the concept of the syllabus, or the weightage of different topics of the syllabus, that which topic of the syllabus carries how much weightage. हमें पता है, हम generally ABC analysis जिसको हम बोलते हैं, we generally do ABC analysis, which is the topmost priority topics, then which are in category B and which are in category C. So topics which are there for A section or section A, they have to be taken in the first priority, or they should be studied with full concentration. Then comes section B, that is they have the lesser weightage, and then comes the last weightage, the topics which have the least weightage uh, in the syllabus. So this divides the entire syllabus of GST into 3 parts. In fact, with this you will come across the syllabus also, but I did not introduce you to the syllabus because you'll be going through this in the section-wise weightage also. That is why I didn't discuss it earlier. GST law, first of all, we have the introduction to GST law, or you can say the GST in India and Introduction, Chapter 1 of GST. This has a weightage of 0 to 5%, but this does not mean that you have to leave this topic, because some students will focus on this 0 and they will think कि हो सकता है ना भी आए तो क्या करना है पढ़ के. But this is the main introduction to the topic. अब आपको अगर GST लॉ पढ़ना है तो पहले GST समझना तो पड़ेगा, और वो उसके लिए चैप्टर 1 बहुत जरूरी है. एंड इट हैज अ वेटेज ऑफ 5%, तो देयर कैन बी क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन दिस, एमसीक्यूज, इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस उस पे हो सकते हैं. Then we have the other substantive provisions. So आप देखो section 2 has the highest weightage. अगर आप इस figure को देखो 50 to 80%, तो at least 50% of your paper, at least half of your paper, in fact you can say more than half of your paper will be from this section, that is section 2. And what topics it is covering? Charge of GST, time of supply, value of supply, place of supply, and input tax credit. And finally computation of GST liability, क्योंकि इन्हीं सबको मिलाकर आप जीएसटी लाइबिलिटी फाइनली कंप्यूट करते हो. तो दिस सेक्शन हैज अ वेटेज ऑफ मोर देन 50%, 80% तक की वेटेज इस सेक्शन से हो सकती है. दिस इज द रेंज विच इज प्रोवाइडेड फॉर दिस, सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द सिग्निफिकेंस. इसलिए इन टॉपिक को करते हुए जब आपको क्लासेस में भी जब ये टॉपिक डिस्कस होंगे, यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी अटेंटिव, और इनको बहुत थरली करना है. जितनी प्रैक्टिस इनके क्वेश्चंस की कर सकते हो आप, जितना इनके कॉन्सेप्ट्स को समझ सकते हो. एमसीक्यू सिनेरियोज भी आप देखोगे प्राइमरली इस सेक्शन में से होते हैं. So many questions are there, MCQs plus descriptive questions. Weightage से ही समझ आ रहा है कि कितना important section है ये. तो इसका जो place of supply, time, input tax credit, ये सारे topics जो हैं supply का concept पर से, वो सब आपको बहुत ही attentively समझने हैं. Then comes the procedural aspect, and that is the third section. So registration, tax invoice, these are the procedural aspect. Procedural aspects क्या होते हैं? जो कि आपको कोई भी लॉ है, टैक्सेशन लॉ में पर्टिकुलरली, अब आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन, सबसे पहले आपको इनफैक्ट इफ यू हैव टू स्टार्ट विद जीएसटी, यू हैव टू फर्स्ट टेक द रजिस्ट्रेशन. वंस यू आर रजिस्टर्ड, you will issue tax invoice. Then you have to maintain your accounts, records accordingly. If your transaction is more than of rupees 50,000, you have to issue an e-way bill. आपने शायद थोड़ा बहुत कभी इन टर्म्स के बारे में सुना हो, तो और वंस यू गो इनटू द ट्रेनिंग देन यू विल कम अक्रॉस ऑल दीज थिंग्स, बट अभी तो आपको ये शायद टर्म्स ही लगेंगे कुछ. पेमेंट ऑफ टैक्स, अब जीएसटी है तो जीएसटी पे भी करना पड़ेगा, रिटर्न भी भरनी पड़ेगी जैसे इनकम टैक्स में भरते हैं. तो वो सारी चीजें हमारी थर्ड सेक्शन में आती है, जिसकी वेटेज 20% से 45%, सो ऑलमोस्ट 50% तक ये भी जा सकता है. बट दिस हैज द सेकेंड हाइएस्ट वेटेज, एंड थर्ड वेटेज इज ऑफ टॉपिक 1, first section, that is the basic concept, 0 to 5%. So I have this, this tells you about the section wise weightage. Then we have the study guidelines. Abhi study guidelines are not there for May 26 examination, because study guidelines are web hosted or they are made available once the cutoff date goes. Because हमारे जीएसटी लॉ में तो थ्रू आउट द ईयर चेंजेस आते रहते हैं. जीएसटी लॉ इज वेरी वेरी डायनेमिक इन नेचर. थ्रू आउट द ईयर notifications and circulars are being issued, and these notifications, they change the law also. So their applicability or otherwise has to be decided, and that we can tell only after the cutoff date is gone. But what is the study guidelines? Those who have just joined or whose first session is there today, so for them I want to tell what is study guidelines, because students who are there for January 26, many of them would be knowing what is study guidelines, but for others, I will be discussing what the study guidelines is actually. Darshan is asking, will you provide PDF notes? Darshan, these PPTs I will be providing you, so you can refer them. So Sakti has to order the book. Sakti, you should order July 26, July 25 edition, sorry, July 25 edition. So all of you take care that you you order the July 25 edition. Okay. And so these are the study guidelines. Now, we have seen the section-wise weightage here. Sorry, section-wise weightage is gone now. But section-wise weightage, we have already seen that was your complete syllabus. From that syllabus, there are certain topics which we have specifically excluded. Though they form part of your syllabus, the original syllabus which has been finally decided for this particular chapter, but certain topics we found that they might be difficult for students. They just amount to rote learning if they remember you remember them. For example, the rates of taxes. If we expect the students to remember the rates of GST for goods or services, what it will do, you will keep on memorizing the rates only. Okay, for this particular good, this is the rate, this is the rate for, you have 6-7 slabs for the rate. So that will 6-7 rates, different rates are there. So that will be a very cumbersome task for the students, and we are not testing them on anything. So rates of taxes we have excluded from the syllabus. Now these points which we have excluded from the syllabus, these specific provisions, specific topics which we have excluded is the study guidelines. That means these topics, though they form part of your syllabus, but we have specifically excluded them from the examination point of view. You do not have to refer them from examination purpose. In fact, ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है आप सब लोगों के लिए कि पहले तो ये पता होना चाहिए क्या क्या नहीं पढ़ना. जो पढ़ना है वो तो सबको पता है, लेकिन जो नहीं पढ़ना उसका बहुत ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि गलती से वो ना पढ़ ले, क्योंकि जो नहीं पढ़ना वो तो ना पढ़ो ना. जो सारे जो इनकम टैक्स के लिए भी ऐसी स्टडी गाइडलाइंस है, तो आपको वो स्टडी गाइडलाइन सबसे पहले रेफर करनी चाहिए कि ये तो मुझे नहीं पढ़ना. दिस इज समथिंग विच आई शुड टेक केयर दैट आई डू नॉट गो थ्रू दीज थिंग्स. सो यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल. दो वील टेक केयर ऑफ दिस इन आवर क्लास ऑल्सो. हम आपको वो सब नहीं पढ़ाएंगे, बट जो आपको नहीं पढ़ना वो आपको वैसे भी पता होना चाहिए. यू शुड बी अवेयर, इतना आपको अवेयर होना चाहिए. हाँ, आई विल बी गिविंग दीज पीपीटीज स्टूडेंट्स, सो डोंट वरी, ये सारी पीपीटीज आपको मैं दे दूंगी. ठीक है, तो विल जस्ट गो थ्रू देम. वैसे ही आपकी बीओएस वेबसाइट पे है, आप भी देख सकते हो. तो मैं आपको मेजर मेजर आई विल बी टेलिंग यू द इंपॉर्टेंट सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट्स हियर. तो रेट्स ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज जो है वो आपको नहीं पढ़ने हैं. दे विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू यू इन दी क्वेश्चंस. आप अगर क्वेश्चंस भी देखोगे बुक में, तो हर क्वेश्चन में रेट दिया होगा, आपको वही रेट लेना है. अगर आपको बाय चांस किसी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ से कोई रेट पता है, and in the exam some fictitious rate is given to you, so please go through the rate given in the exam questions. आप उस वक्त एग्जाम में जो लिखा होता है वही बाइबल होता है, वही आपका प्रोटोकॉल होता है, वही फॉलो करना होता है. तो यू गो बाय द रेट विच इज गिवन इन दी एग्जाम क्वेश्चन, because you are not expected to know the rates for goods or services. फिर रिवर्स चार्ज प्रोविजंस. रिवर्स चार्ज प्रोविजंस जब आप पढ़ोगे, अभी चैप्टर जीएसटी लॉ पढ़ोगे, तो रिवर्स चार्ज प्रोविजंस में होता है कि जीएसटी नॉर्मली सप्लायर को पे करना होता है. रिवर्स चार्ज के केस में रिसिपिएंट टैक्स पे कर देता है, बट वो कुछ स्पेसिफाइड केसेस हैं. तो वो गुड्स के केस में भी होते हैं, वो सर्विसेज के केस में भी होते हैं. और गुड्स वी हैव एक्सक्लूडेड, गुड्स वाले केसेस आपको नहीं पढ़ने हैं. इसी तरह एग्जम्पशन फ्रॉम जीएसटी इन केस ऑफ गुड्स इज एक्सक्लूडेड. सर्विसेज वाली एग्जाम्पशंस आपके सिलेबस में है, प्रॉपर एक अलग से चैप्टर है, देयर इज अ सेपरेट चैप्टर. गुड्स का एग्जाम्पशन इज नॉट देयर इन योर syllabus. So reverse charge provisions as well as the exemption is not in their part of your syllabus. Then we have the प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई का चैप्टर जब आप करोगे, बहुत रिस्ट्रिक्टेड प्रोविजंस एप्लीकेबल है, बिकॉज क्रॉस बॉर्डर ट्रांजेक्शन्स आर नॉट देयर इन आवर सिलेबस. जो भी इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट से रिलेटेड ट्रांजेक्शन्स हैं, सो वो पर्टिकुलर सेक्शंस, वो पर्टिकुलर प्रोविजंस आर आउटसाइड द सिलेबस. तो अगर आप इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट गुड्स का है, उससे रिलेटेड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, या वेयर द लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर और रिसिपिएंट इज आउटसाइड इंडिया, वो भी आपका क्रॉस बॉर्डर ट्रांजेक्शन है, दैट इज नॉट देयर इन योर सिलेबस. यू कैन जस्ट गो थ्रू, बिकॉज अभी आप शायद सारे प्रोविजंस को अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर पाओगे, बिकॉज फर्स्ट क्लास है आपकी. बट ये एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि हाँ ये कुछ टॉपिक्स है हमें नहीं पढ़ने. सो टेक केयर ऑफ देम. स्टडी मटेरियल में ये टॉपिक्स नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर आप कोई रेफरेंस बुक या कुछ भी आप रेफर करते हो, आपका कोई फ्रेंड आपको बोलता है कि ये प्रोविजन पढ़ लिया, तो आपको ये स्टडी गाइडलाइन में से देख लो कि आपके पास है या नहीं. तो अगर स्टडी गाइडलाइन में मेंशन है, सम ऑफ योर फ्रेंड इज रेफरिंग फ्रॉम सम बुक और वॉट एवर इट इज, you can advise him कि ये आपको नहीं पढ़ना है, this you should not go through. Okay, so this is the entire list which you do not have to go through. ये अभी September 25 की स्टडी गाइडलाइंस है. प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ दिस. फॉर January 26 अभी we'll be issuing the study guidelines, and for May 26 तो वो October 31 के बाद ही गाइडलाइंस आएंगी, that you have to refer. Okay, so study guidelines or section wise weightage, I hope it is clear to everyone. Rajni is asking any amendment from 1st May to 31st October. It is not applicable for January 26. It is for January 26, Rajni. Amendments till 30th June. So 1st May to 30th June it is applicable. बट 30 जून के बाद की अमेंडमेंट्स आपके लिए एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. फिनेंस एक्ट 25 जनवरी 26 के लिए एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. प्लीज ध्यान से सुनिएगा. जनवरी 26 के लिए 1 मई और मतलब 30 जून तक की जो भी अमेंडमेंट्स हैं वो एप्लीकेबल हैं. वो हम अभी वेब होस्ट करेंगे. अभी सितंबर एग्जाम्स के बाद ये सारा प्रोसेस जनवरी वाला स्टार्ट होता है. और जो स्टडी मटेरियल है वो पुराना ही रेलिवेंट होगा जनवरी 26 के लिए. आपको फिनेंस एक्ट भी नंबर 2 एक्ट 2024 ही एप्लीकेबल होगा. So please don't get confused with such things. It's like learn and play with. Yes, study material तो बिल्कुल learn and play वाला ही आपको लगेगा. कलर स्टडी मटेरियल क्यों नहीं है, प्रवीण कुमार पूछ रहे हैं. बट वी प्रवीण, यू ऑल हैव टू रिकमेंड दैट. बट वेबसाइट पे है, मे बी someday we see the colored material also, but at least soft form में you have the colored material. Juveria is saying I am direct entry student. This is my first attempt. So BCom computer applications student hai wo. I have doubt. I have seen many people using study material of different authors other than ICAI. What do you say about it, and what do you say about attending ICAI classes with self study or taking other coaching along with it? जुवेरिया जुवेरिया फातिमा, आई वुड सजेस्ट आप पहले लाइव वर्चुअल क्लासेस एक बार अटेंड करो. यू शुड गो थ्रू दी क्लासेस, यू शुड सी द स्टडी मटेरियल. किसी भी चीज को एक्सेप्ट या रिजेक्ट तब किया जाता है जब आपने उसे देखा हो. जस्ट डोंट गो बाय एनीबडीज सजेशन. आप आज क्लास में हो, आप अभी नेक्स्ट फ्यू क्लासेस अटेंड करो, एंड देन यू हैव टू डिसाइड वेदर यू हैव टू गो फॉर दीज क्लासेस और यू हैव टू गो फॉर सम अदर क्लासेस. बट आप स्टडी मटेरियल जरूर देखो. स्टडी मटेरियल कंटेन्स द फुल कवरेज ऑफ द एंटायर सिलेबस. आई वुड सजेस्ट स्टडी मटेरियल प्लस एलवीसी क्लासेस, and then we have the sessions also, separate sessions for the problem solving sessions. Everything will be taken care of. मतलब ये proper complete package है to make you exam ready. We have the mock test papers. Then mock test papers के साथ success at CA examination sessions होते हैं जो आपको mock test paper की nitty-gritties बताते हैं. एग्जाम से पहले की चीजें जो आपको याद रखनी है, पॉइंट्स. अभी तो मैंने सिर्फ स्टार्ट किया है आपको सब ये सब चीजें बताना. अभी तो मैं आपको वो सब चीजें नहीं बताऊंगी एग्जाम वाली, बिकॉज टुडे इज द स्टार्ट ऑफ योर स्टडी पीरियड. you don't have to appear for exam in next few months. तो अभी तो हम सिर्फ उसी पे फोकस करेंगे, इसीलिए हम ये सब करें. बाकी आपको यू विल बी गिविंग यू नो गाइडेंस ऑन ऑल दीज थिंग्स. सब्सटैंटिव और प्रोसीजरल लॉ क्या है? अनुभव इज आस्किंग. अनुभव, प्रोसीजरल लॉ तो आपको समझ आया कि जो हमें द टैक्स लॉ इज बेसिकली द प्रोसीजर्स इन टैक्स लॉ मीन्स हाउ यू हैव टू actually implement that law, or you have to discharge your liability, GST liability जैसे मैं बोलूँ, tax liability. So you have to take registration, you have to issue tax invoice, then accounts and records you have to maintain, you have to pay the tax, you have to file the returns. There, in all these activities, in all these provisions, you don't have to apply any concept. आपको जो core concept है GST का, GST किस इवेंट पे लगेगा, टैक्सेबल इवेंट क्या है, किस टाइम पे जीएसटी पे करना है, टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई क्या होगा, किस वैल्यू पे जीएसटी पे करना है, जीएसटी की वैल्यू क्या होगी, वो सब है कोर कॉन्सेप्ट जिनको हम कहते हैं सब्सटैंटिव प्रोविजंस, जो कि हमने बोला सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर मैं आपके स्टडी मटेरियल की बात करूं तो स्टडी मटेरियल में चैप्टर 2 से लेकर चैप्टर 8 तक के जो प्रोविजंस हैं वो सारे सब्सटैंटिव प्रोविजंस हैं. चैप्टर 2 टू चैप्टर 8 आर दी सब्सटैंटिव प्रोविजंस, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर्स विच हैव दी हाईएस्ट वेटेज इन योर सिलेबस, इन योर एग्जामिनेशन. तो वो होते हैं सब्सटैंटिव, मतलब कोर प्रोविजंस, फंडामेंटल प्रोविजन, जिसपे पूरा लॉ बेस्ड है. अगर आपको इस लॉ को समझना है तो आपको पहले उन प्रोविजंस को समझना पड़ेगा. प्रोसीजरल लॉ तो तब आएगा जब वैसे आप स्टार्ट प्रोसीजर से करते हो किसी भी लॉ में, लेकिन अगर आपको लॉ को समझना है तो पहले सब्सटैंटिव प्रोविजंस, लॉ के फंडामेंटल्स को समझना पड़ेगा, और फिर उसको कैसे डिस्चार्ज करना है उस लाइबिलिटी को, वो आप प्रोसीजर से समझोगे कि आपको क्या क्या प्रोसीजर्स उसके लिए फॉलो करने हैं. सो आई होप इट क्लियर्स योर डाउट. ओके, नौशीन इज सेइंग कि जब वो पूरा मैम विल टेस्ट बी हेल्ड ड्यूरिंग द क्लास. टेस्ट का कॉन्सेप्ट अभी नौशीन देखना पड़ेगा. वील बी हैविंग जीएसटी क्विज इन बिटवीन. आज तो नहीं, आई डोंट थिंक वील गेट द टाइम टुडे टू होल्ड जीएसटी क्विज, बिकॉज अभी मैं कॉन्सेप्ट पे आ नहीं पाई हूँ. I will be going through the concept, but we'll be holding GST Titan quiz. We had done it in the previous class also, and it was very, very, popular among the students because उनसे बहुत engaging रहता है. I told you ना कि GST में हमारा पूरा concept है कि we want to make the subject as interesting as possible for the students. तो उसमें जो बीच बीच में क्लासेस में जीएसटी टाइटन क्विज होगा, एंड यू ऑल हैव टू बिकम जीएसटी टाइटन. तो जीएसटी टाइटन का जो क्राउन है वो किसको मिलेगा, दैट वी हैव टू सी. उसी तरह से वील बी टेस्टिंग यू. आपको मॉक टेस्ट पेपर कैसे देना है, उसके लिए आप एग्जाम, अच्छा निधि, आई थिंक यू आर फॉर जनवरी 26 ना. तो बिफोर एग्जामिनेशन देर आर 2 सीरीज ऑफ मॉक टेस्ट पेपर्स. फॉर दैट यू हैव टू गो टू बीयूएस नॉलेज पोर्टल, यू विल फाइंड द मॉक टेस्ट पेपर शेड्यूल देयर. उस शेड्यूल के हिसाब से आप अपनी नियरेस्ट ब्रांच में कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो, और यू कैन appear for the mock test papers online also, sitting at your home. Both ways you can give it. If you are going to the branch, then I think for getting the paper evaluated you have to pay some amount. Otherwise, sitting at home, you can give it. That is not an issue. Okay. And then let me see others. Okay. Saipa has joined the through BS knowledge portal only. Pratiksha is asking, can we use these diagrams in exam while answering the questions? You can use the diagrams, Pratiksha, but with diagrams, you have to write the content also. So your, I would say, you should make your point clear through these. If you are making a diagram also, use it as a substantiate your answer with these diagrams, but the provision should also be uh, reproduced. So only diagram I think might not be sufficient. You have to see which type of question you are answering. Kushnur is saying voice is buffering. So if this problem is coming to others also, please let me know if there is any issue in the voice. Soumya saying please start the class. Okay, Soumya, I am just giving you the basic. In fact, I have started the class. So this is the basic idea about the subject and about the publications which I am giving to you. This is also very important. Soft copy in the BOS Knowledge Portal is there, which is available to you. So this Soumya, your this query I won't be able to tell. You have to write it to BOS Noida, which you are asking about your registration. And okay, let me see if any other doubt is there. Muzahid is asking mandatory submit karna hota hai. Mock test paper is not mandatory, it is recommendatory, but we always recommend students to appear for that. WhatsApp link Kusum is provided in the technical support. If you can once again share, general chat में आपका WhatsApp link दिया है, you all can join और वहां पे आपको voice is clear. Rosie is saying चलो fine, if voice is clear then it's fine because somebody wrote that voice is buffering. Okay, everything is loud and clear. RN is saying thank you RN. Ma'am, please help during the course of study how to deal with rulings given in court by courts on GST litigation, which eventually redefines the whole meaning of provision. Abhinav, you are an intermediate student. Try to restrict the content discussed in the study material. Judicial rulings, if any, is discussed to the extent they have been discussed in the study material, they are relevant. So अभी आपको provision समझने पे ज़्यादा focus करना है judicial rulings के comparison में. So now should we start with the topic? Let me see if some more doubts are there. So even rates applicable, yes, Krishna, no rates are applicable for you. Let me quickly answer all the queries because otherwise we'll not be able to start the topic. It's already 7:20. If any of you want the break, you can mention it in the chat box. Otherwise, we can start with the technical topic. क्या न्यू बैच की क्लास प्रेफर करनी चाहिए या रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर? निधि, अच्छा आपका जनवरी 26 है. If you want to start it early, Nidhi, you should start the recorded lecture. Because though I always suggest to go for the live classes, but if you have not done it, then I would suggest you to go for the at least go for the recorded one. Okay. I'm preparing for Praveen Kumar is saying I'm preparing for January 26, but as of now, September 26 study guidelines. Yes, the study guidelines, when I'm saying rate of tax, reverse charge provisions, they are not applicable. So these things are going to stay. There can be some changes in May 26, January 26, so separate study guidelines will be hosted, but more or less it will remain the same. So don't worry about that. Okay. So I hope this clears all your doubts. Rosie saying she knew about exam blueprint, Mustafa. We have just started the class, so I thought ki we should share we'll be sharing the exam blueprint. Don't worry during the course of the classes. एग्जाम ब्लूप्रिंट भी हम आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे. अभी तो आज आपका फर्स्ट लेक्चर है, तो बेटर है कि आप अभी कॉन्सेप्ट्स पे हम थोड़ा फोकस करें, देन वील बी ओके. अभिनव इज ऑल्सो सेइंग आई शुड स्टार्ट विद द टॉपिक बिकॉज अदरवाइज जो है ओके. वन स्टूडेंट अभिनव हैज स्टार्टेड विद द मतलब ही हैज रिक्वेस्टेड फॉर द ब्रेक. इफ अदर्स ऑल्सो वांटेड प्लीज लेट मी नो. Himanshi saying continue. Then Azra, okay, Azra is saying no need for break. So mixed views are coming. So we'll take 5 minutes break. After I just let me just start the topic because at least कुछ तो start कर देते हैं. We'll take the break. Don't worry. But we'll take very short break. Let's start the topic. थोड़ा सा एक feel आनी चाहिए कि हाँ जीएसटी लॉ हमने आज कुछ start कर दिया. और बाकी जो आपकी ये इस तरह की क्वेरीज है कि एग्जाम का क्या पैटर्न होगा, मॉक टेस्ट पेपर में क्या ध्यान रखना है, किस तरह से एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस लिखने हैं, क्या हमें ध्यान रखना है एग्जाम के टाइम पर, एवरीथिंग विल बी टेलिंग यू. डोंट वरी, इन क्लासेस में सब कुछ डिस्कस होगा. मतलब आपको जो भी अपने एग्जाम वाले दिन जो आपको पता होना चाहिए वो सब कुछ पता होगा. जो आप चाहे वो टेक्निकल हो, चाहे वो आपके सिलेबस से रिलेटेड है, एप्लीकेबिलिटी से रिलेटेड है, एवरीथिंग विल बी डिस्कस. सो बी एश्योर्ड ऑन दैट पार्ट. आपकी कोई भी चीज अनआंसर्ड नहीं जाएगी. ये व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप आप ज्वाइन करोगे, इसमें आप अपना फीडबैक भी दोगे. फीडबैक आप अलग से भी देना. आई विल गिव यू 2 minutes ड्यूरिंग द सेशन टू गिव द फीडबैक फॉर दिस सेशन ऑल्सो बिकॉज जो भी हम टेक्निक अडॉप्ट करते हैं वी वॉन्ट द स्टूडेंट्स टू tell us that whether they are enjoying it, they want such type of lectures or they want something else. Everything we want to know. So let's start with the topic for 10 minutes and then we will take a break. कुछ ब्रेक के लिए आना शुरू हो गया है. Let's see if some students are writing. If there is many changes, study material वाला point I will take after the break. Let me think of something. Harini, let us see how there will be different, classes may be taken by others. So some students are requesting break. Just let me start the topic and then I will give the break. Just 5 minutes more and I will give you the break. जीएसटी क्या है, थोड़ा सा एक बार टैक्स के बारे में समझते हैं. तो ये टैक्स के कोड्स हैं जो चाणक्य कहते थे आपके कि टैक्स ऐसे कलेक्ट करो कि जैसे हनी बी नेक्टर से मतलब कलेक्ट नेक्टर फ्रॉम द फ्लावर्स की पता ही नहीं चलता. मतलब दे शुड नॉट पिंच द पर्सन फ्रॉम whom you are collecting the taxes. These codes we have provided in the study material also to generate an interest in the subject. ये this code is only for generating the interest. Franklin Roosevelt ने एक बहुत important code कहा था, taxes after all are the dues that we pay for the privileges of membership in an organized society. क्योंकि taxes हमें society के अंदर प्रिविलेजेस जो हमें चाहिए वो तभी दे पाएगी गवर्नमेंट जब वो टैक्सेस कलेक्ट करेगी. अब फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट, फॉर स्टडिंग जीएसटी कॉन्सेप्ट, वी हैव आई विल बी इंट्रोड्यूसिंग 2 कैरेक्टर्स टू यू जिसको नेक्स्ट क्लास में विल बी यूजिंग मोर. आज तो एक दो बार यूज होंगे वो कैरेक्टर्स. वन इज दी क्यूरियस कबीर है. क्यूरियस कबीर इज ऑल ऑफ यू. आप सब लोग हो क्यूरियस कबीर मेरे, जो कि बहुत हु आर क्यूरियस अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट, हु नो वांट टू नो अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट कि हाँ ये क्या है. तो अब टैक्स का मीनिंग जानना है तो क्यूरियस कबीर ने वो पूछा कि भाई टैक्स क्या होता है, व्हाट इज टैक्स. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू ऑल आर आस्किंग और आई एम सेइंग यू ऑल आर क्यूरियस कबीर. ओके, आफ्टर 5 minutes आई विल टेक द ब्रेक, डोंट वरी. एक हमारे पास है जीएसटी जिनी जो सारे आंसर्स हमें देती हैं. सो शी नोज एवरीथिंग अबाउट जीएसटी एंड शी विल बी टेलिंग कि हाँ क्या होता है टैक्स. लेकिन उससे पहले आप सब लोग मुझे चैट बॉक्स में आपके हिसाब से टैक्स क्या होता है, व्हाट इज टैक्स, that you have to write in your own words quickly in the chat box, give it to me, then we'll see what exactly the definition or the meaning of tax is. 50% students want to continue, 50% wants a break, so don't worry, we'll take a small break. Most of you are saying continue, but let us see. So टैक्स क्या होता है. अब आप सब क्यूरियस कबीर बन गए हैं, लेकिन आपको अब जीएसटी क्यूरियस कबीर आप हो, आपको जीएसटी जिनी के शूज में स्टेप इन करके सोचना है कि क्या होता है टैक्स, बिकॉज जीएसटी जिनी नोज एवरीथिंग अबाउट इट. Abhinav, wait, just bear for 5 more minutes, don't worry. Aishwarya is saying taxes burden. Yes, it is a burden. Well said, it is a burden. Definitely, nobody wants to pay taxes. Who wants to pay the taxes? Do we know कि कितना important है? But if somebody asks from us, we'll not be ready. Tax is collected by government for on sale of goods or services. Mustafa, I think, and you want to say that is true. Compulsory payment or contribution, Priyanka, very good. Abhinav, taxes are collected for facilities that are rendered to citizens by government. Very good, Abhinav. Then Anita, we have to pay tax for country development. Anita is saying good. So all of you have the basic idea of taxes. आपको इतनी अच्छी बात है कि आपको ये पता है कि टैक्स क्यों कलेक्ट होता है, टैक्स का क्या रिलेवेंस है. टैक्स इज द अमाउंट विच इज कलेक्टेड बाय गवर्नमेंट. दिस इज पावर टू द गवर्नमेंट बाय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पावर होनी चाहिए. वेदांत, ट्रू. Nashini is saying tax is what people pay to government for public services. ये जो public services वाली बात आप लोग लिख रहे हो, that is very very important and happy to see कि आपको पता है. Fee charged by government to provide basic infra facility. Parveen Kumar is saying true. Nidhi, taxes collected for us by using goods and services, right? Muzahid, collected by tax government, collecting tax government. Okay, government collects tax from us, that is right. But what is tax? Tax is the amount government collects for public to keep country running. बिल्कुल सही है कि अगर आपको कंट्री को चलाना है तो देना पड़ेगा. Obligation paid by citizens enacted by law. Aryan, you're right. Rosie is saying tax is a burden on a person. Any monetary burden on some for development, tax is not a voluntary payment. Very important point. Tax is a mandatory burden which is placed by the government. Cost of living in a society. So that is why you pay the tax, since you have to stay in a society. A payment exacted by the legislative authority. Soumya is saying true, true, true. Nitin is saying, Nitin, you will get the PPTs. Amount that we pay for country's growth, true. So all of you now are on this right track. And let us see what our GST Gini has to say. It is a compulsory payment to the government enforced by law to fund public services. So वो जो compulsory payment वाली बात आप सबने बोली वो भी सही है. Government को देनी होती है. Enforced by law यानी कि आपको लीगल पेमेंट है, ये ऐसा नहीं है. लॉ आपको बोलता है, इट इज exacted by the legal obligation. and it has to fund the public services. So all of you have answered correctly. मतलब आई एम हैप्पी कि सबका आंसर कहीं ना कहीं सही था. इनफैक्ट आई एम गेटिंग मोर आंसर्स, बट अभी आई वांट टू स्विच टू द नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट. सो yes, the amount which you get from pay for the country's growth. Nitin is also right. So in simple words, कभी curious कभी ने फिर से पूछा, आप simple words में समझा दो. तो GST Ginny is saying it's the money you pay to the government which is used to serve the society. आपने जो, और ये सिंपल भाषा में आप सबने मुझे बता दिया कि ये वो पैसा है जो आप गवर्नमेंट को देते हो, जो कि आपकी पब्लिक सर्विसेज के लिए चाहिए होता है. अब क्यूरियस कबीर ने फिर एक क्वेश्चन पुट अप किया है कि व्हाई आर टैक्सेस कलेक्टेड. इनफैक्ट इसका आंसर हमें प्रीवियस डेफिनेशन में ही पार्शली मिल गया है. So GST Ginny is saying that's a good question, but before I explain, I want to I want you to think about it. But you all have already thought about it. I have got the answers for these. Nitin is saying in joking we're doing what Nirmala Sitharaman says. So whatever Nirmala Sitharaman says, we have to do that, and that becomes your tax. So yes, in a lighter vein, you can say that also. Financial charge or burden on individuals and business entity. Darshan is saying that is also true, Darshan. So why are taxes collected? इसका आंसर हम ले चुके हैं. Already we have discussed कि प्राइमरी किसी भी वेलफेयर स्टेट में, वेलफेयर स्टेट वो स्टेट होता है द कंट्री विच केयर्स फॉर इट्स पीपल. सो इट इज नॉट अ I would say autocratic economy, जहाँ पे government cares for its people, so they levy taxes on them, and from that they get the revenue. This is the main source of revenue because government generally अपनी activities भी करती है, but revenue का main source जो है वो taxes से ही आता है. And those taxes they use to meet the developmental needs because government की duty है developmental needs को meet करना. और वो कैसे होती है? Tax revenue से होती है. तो that is why taxes are collected. There are two types of taxes, direct tax and indirect tax. डायरेक्ट टैक्स क्या होता है? जहां पर टैक्स जो है वो डायरेक्टली टैक्स पेयर से लिया जाता है, ठीक है. और इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स में फाइनल कंज्यूमर टैक्स पे करता है. यानी डायरेक्ट टैक्स वो है जो डायरेक्टली कंज्यूमर, जिसके ऊपर टैक्स लगाया गया है, उसका बर्डन वही बियर करता है. इसके ऊपर लगाया गया, यही इसका बर्डन बियर कर रहा है. उसने अपने कंधों पे उठा रखा है उसका बर्डन, जबकि यहाँ पर इसके ऊपर लगाया, इसने फटाफट इसको पास ऑन कर दिया कि लो भाई, ये उल्टा. इनफैक्ट आई थिंक ये हो रहा है कि इसके ऊपर लगाया, इसने इसके कंधों पे रख दिया कि तुम इसको अब पे करो. सो टैक्स बर्डन इज बीइंग शेयर्ड और शिफ्टेड टू अनदर पर्सन. द पर्सन ऑन हुम टैक्स इज लेविड वो खुद पे नहीं करके वो दूसरे के कंधे पे उसको रख देता है. दैट इज बर्डन इज शिफ्टेड टू सम अदर पर्सन. दैट इज कॉल्ड द इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. डायरेक्ट टैक्स में वो खुद पे करता है. तो अगर हम देखें तो क्या फीचर्स हैं? इट के नॉट डायरेक्ट टैक्स, यू के नॉट शिफ्ट. आप पे इनकम टैक्स लग रहा है, आप अपने मदर से, फादर से, या आप किसी नेबर से पे नहीं करा सकते, आपको खुद ही पे करना है उसको. जबकि इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स में आपको पता है, आपने जिसको सेल किया है, जिसको सर्विसेज सप्लाई किया, आप उसको बोलोगे कि ये टैक्स है, आप पे कर दो. गवर्नमेंट को मैं डिपॉजिट कर दूंगा, बट यू हैव टू बियर द बर्डन. आपको एक्चुअली अपनी पॉकेट से नहीं देना, आपको दूसरे पर्सन से वो ले लेना है. डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस प्रोग्रेसिव होते हैं, इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस रिग्रेसिव होते हैं. डायरेक्ट टैक्स प्रोग्रेसिव मतलब दी प्रोग्रेसिव टैक्स का मतलब होता है मोर योर इनकम इज, यू विल बी टैक्स्ड मोर. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस रिग्रेसिव होते हैं, आपकी इनकम से कोई मतलब नहीं होता, आप जितना परचेज करोगे उतना टैक्स आपको पे करना है. आपके पास बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल दोनों टैक्सेस का हमने दे दिया है, इनकम टैक्स और जीएसटी. अब हम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे मूव कर रहे हैं. क्यूरियस कबीर ने फिर पूछा व्हाई शुड वी स्टडी जीएसटी लॉ, जो कि $1 million क्वेश्चन है. आज आप सबके माइंड में भी आ रहा होगा कि जीएसटी लॉ पढ़ना ही क्यों है, क्यों सिलेबस में डाल दिया, पता नहीं क्यों इतने सारे लॉज, इतने सारा कोर्स है. तो अब जीएसटी जिनी जो है वो आपको एक्सप्लेन करेगी कि क्यों आपको जीएसटी लॉ पढ़ना है, जीएसटी इतना इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है. उसका पहला क्वेश्चन है कि जीएसटी जो है वो हमारे गवर्नमेंट एक्सचेकर में बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन करता है. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स लॉस का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है विद द एडवेंट ऑफ जीएसटी, इट हैज increased many folds. So it's a major contributor to our government exchequer. और आपको पता है वो जो government exchequer मतलब गवर्नमेंट का जो ट्रेजर है, जो गवर्नमेंट का अकाउंट है, उसमें बहुत मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन जीएसटी का होता है. और ये जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है ना, इसी से ही आपकी सारी पब्लिक सर्विसेज, इंक्रीमेंटल गवर्नमेंटल सर्विस, जो भी डेवलपमेंटल सर्विसेज हैं वो प्रोवाइड की जाती है ना. तो इसका दूसरा कारण क्या है? जीएसटी इम्पैक्ट्स एवरीवन हु कंज्यूम्स गुड्स और सर्विसेज. अच्छा, अब ब्रेक लेने से पहले बस मैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन आप सबसे पूछूंगी. इनकम टैक्स तो वी ऑल नो कि व्हेन वी अर्न द इनकम वी पे इनकम टैक्स. Many of I think most of you are not in a stage to pay income tax because you are not earning anything. You will be earning it once you become a chartered accountant or once you maybe you are engaged in any other simultaneously any activity. But income tax we pay when we earn any income. तो अभी आपको पता है इनकम टैक्स आप में से ज्यादातर लोग नहीं दे रहे हैं. I want to know कि if any of you is paying the GST. आप में से कोई GST पे कर रहा है? Quickly in the chat box tell me, any of you paying GST? Okay, Lalit is paying GST. And then Purnima is saying, we all pay GST. Tanzil is saying yes. Ridhima is saying indirectly. Okay, it is an indirect tax, so indirectly pay करना है. Harsh is also saying yes. Satish is saying no. Satish नहीं pay कर रहे अभी GST. Okay. So let us see कि सतीश आप पे कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो. अभी आपको खुद ही आंसर करना है कि आप पे कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो. Harsh is saying ki, ma'am, the way you are teaching, I don't feel like taking a break. If possible, please continue because the way you teach boosts my curiosity to know more about everything relating to tax GST. Thank you so much, Harsh. Some of you are feeling actually tired, so we'll take a short break, but don't worry, we'll be right back after 5 minutes. Okay, Ishwarya, I will shift to English. Don't worry. In between, I have shifted to English, Hindi, but whatever I'm speaking in Hindi, I'm telling it in English also. Don't worry. So Kinnary is also paying GST. So most of you are paying GST. How come is it possible you're not paying income tax but you're paying GST? So Gunjan is paying. Then Deepika is also saying she's paying. Pooja is also paying GST. Then Upadhyay is also Umesh Bhai Upadhyay. Okay, Indrani is saying levied on individuals, levied on goods and services. Indrani, but are you paying GST or not? Tell me. So okay, Rinki is also paying GST. I will show you a video, small video. So Shruti is also paying GST. Ria, then we have Nagar. All of you are paying GST. So how come you all are paying GST? No, Jagrati is also paying income tax. You are not paying GST. You are paying. So let us see. Satyajit is also saying yes, and Anshu is also saying yes. So Shraddha is also saying yes. ओके. गवर्नमेंट एक्सचेकर होता है श्रद्धा जो गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट है, मतलब गवर्नमेंट का एक तरह से ट्रेजर कह लो आप, गवर्नमेंट का ट्रेजर है गवर्नमेंट एक्सचेकर. सो लेट मी प्ले अ स्मॉल वीडियो ऑन दिस पॉइंट विच विल गिव यू एन आइडिया कि ये जीएसटी जो है आप पे करते हो या नहीं करते हो. ठीक है, लेट अस सी वेयर डू वी हैव जीएसटी इन आवर लाइफ. लेट अस सी हाउ दिस. ओके, सो विद दिस we have come back to our PPT. I hope this video you had the you were all able to see this video now, because I want to know in the chat box whether it gave you an idea. All of you told me this, that yes, we were paying GST, and I have given you some example that yes, how you are paying the GST. Okay, you are able to listen to that. So before taking a break, I just wanted to show this video to you to just give you an idea or a thought, a food for thought, that yes, GST we are paying in almost every activity which we are doing on a daily basis. आप देखोगे दिन में आप बहुत बार जीएसटी पे करते हो, कई बार तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब ऑन ओकेजन्स और सम ब्रेक्स में आप जीएसटी पे करो. आप कई बार एक दिन में आप बहुत सारी ऐसी एक्टिविटीज करते हो. आप सुबह पिकनिक, मतलब यू गो फॉर एन आउटिंग, सो आप सुबह कहीं आपने कैब बुक की, You booked a cab and you went to that place, then you booked the tickets for a movie, or you have gone for any exhibition or something, any event you have gone there, also you're eating something there, then you came back to your place. So in every event you are actually paying GST, or being a student in also you are paying GST so many times that this shows that this is nothing to do with your income. That is why it is a regressive tax कि अभी आपकी कोई salary नहीं है, कोई income नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी आप GST pay कर रहे हो. This is the nature of the indirect tax. Okay, so I hope this video you found it interesting. And yes, whenever you purchase anything Prajapati, you have to pay the tax. So we are taking a break for 5 minutes. We'll come back, all of you, so that you can take, at least you can have water, or you can have something, you can get refreshed. So come back with refreshed mood after 5 minutes. Nisar, break लगा दीजिए. Yes, welcome back to the session again, students. And I think we have moved to beginning of the PPT. Let me go to the slide which we were discussing. So we were discussing the GST law. Why should we study GST law and how GST impacts our everyday life? In fact, before the break, we had played a video, but sound was not there in that video. So let me play it for you, and you just tell me if the video. Okay, I hope the audio is also there this time, because that will give you an the whole feel of that video. Okay, and she was saying. Hmm. I will just, when I play the video, just let me know whether.
Do
Hmm.
you know where GST shows up in your everyday life? Let's find out where GST exists in our daily life. When you go for dining out with your friends, GST is included in the bill that you pay. Are you a shopping freak? Clothes, mobile phones, shoes, all you shop for includes GST in the bill. You are a movie lover. You went to watch a movie, had popcorns during interval. GST is payable on ticket, it is payable on popcorns you eat. You got your mobile phone recharged. Don't forget that GST is payable on it. You are going to your college. You booked a taxi to college. GST is payable on the bill. The stationery items you bought for preparing your class notes. It carries GST too. Now you know how GST is part of your everyday life. Let's now take a closer look at the nuances of GST law.
Okay, so I hope this we have to. Now my PPT is visible to you all. No, PPT is not visible, I think. I need to share it again. Let me share it again. So, one by one. Hmm. Okay. Is my PPT visible to you? Please let me know. Okay, PPT is now visible. Okay. So let us come to the, so we have done how GST is important to us and how is it affecting our daily life. In fact, I have got few examples from all of you telling that how GST is, you are paying GST in your daily lives, and just keep answering these things in your chat box, because that way I would also know that yes, you are actually participating and you are going through the concept, you are understanding the concept. Okay. Now, next point is the genesis of GST in India, that how GST came into picture. So in 2000, the then Prime Minister of India, he introduced the concept of GST, and he formed a committee to formulate the GST law, to design a GST model for the country. So in 2000 it started. In fact, in 2006, the Union Minister at that time, in his budget speech, he announced that they will be introducing GST on 1st April 2010. But after that, so many deadlines passed by, and GST law could not be introduced, because for that we had to bring all the states into a consensus that yes, GST should be introduced. And that could not happen. And because of that, GST law could not be introduced. Then came the So in 2014, Constitution 102nd Amendment Bill was introduced in the Parliament, because for introducing GST, constitutional amendment was required. Now, why it was required, what was the constitutional amendment, this we will be doing in next class in detail. Constitutional provisions we'll be discussing in detail. But first of all, you should know that yes, some constitutional amendment was required, and that bill came into the Parliament. In 2016, this bill got passed, and it was enacted. And in 2016 September itself, first GST Council meeting was held. In fact, GST की जो core body है, जो सारा GST legislation देखती है, चाहे वो आपके rules हो, act हो, आपके notification, circulars, any change in the GST has to first be approved by the GST Council. तो वो सारी recommendations GST Council में होती हैं, इसलिए सबसे पहले हमारे पास GST Council का फॉर्मेशन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट काम था. तो जीएसटी काउंसिल का फॉर्मेशन सबसे पहले किया गया, दैट इज इन सितंबर 2016. And in March 2017, so this GST Council, it formulated the law. इसने सारे bills बनाए, CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST, all the bills. GST compensation cess bill was also formed, and these bills were then enacted in April 2017. So they were passed. These bills were passed, and then GST Council recommended the rules. तो bills act pass हो गया, उसके बाद bill भी pass, rules भी pass होने थे, सारे rules भी enact कर दिए गए. और 30 जून तक सारे स्टेट्स ने भी अपने अपने स्टेट्स में अपने अपने लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज में उनको पास कर दिया, अपने अपने लेजिस्लेचर्स में. 30 जून तक ही हो गया, 1 जुलाई को इसको लॉन्च कर दिया गया. लेकिन एक एक्सेप्शन अभी हमारे पास था, जेएंडके का. जेएंडके में नहीं हुआ था. इनफैक्ट दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग यू, दैट एवरी चेंज, एवरी अमेंडमेंट विच इज ब्रॉट बाय द सेंटर इन फाइनेंस बिल, दैट हैज टू बी ratified by all the states in their legislatures. On 1st July, everybody has done that. 1st July को it was launched. सीए डे होता है 1st जुलाई को. 1st जुलाई को जीएसटी डे भी होता है साथ में. तो जीएसटी का भी जो लॉन्च है वो सीए डे के साथ ही हुआ. इट्स अ को इंसिडेंस की जीएसटी डे भी सीए डे के साथ ही होता है. 1st जुलाई इट वाज लॉन्च्ड, एंड 8th जुलाई को एक स्पेशल ऑर्डिनेंस से जीएसटी जेएंडके जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में भी इंप्लीमेंट कर दिया गया. सो पहले जीएसटी के परव्यू में 1st जुलाई को जेएंडके ने नहीं इंप्लीमेंट किया था, लेकिन 8 जुलाई से it was implemented in Jammu and Kashmir also. Okay, so this was the genesis of GST कि GST किस तरह से इंडिया में लाया गया. अब हम आते हैं कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ जीएसटी पे कि जीएसटी का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है. These are the key features of GST law. Destination based consumption tax, value added tax, continuous chain of credits, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजंस हैं ये जीएसटी लॉ के. ये these are the soul of GST कि जीएसटी क्यों अलग है बाकी पुराने अपने टैक्सेस से, जो उनके उसके प्रेडिसेसर्स थे, वैट और जितने भी आपका सर्विस टैक्स, सब अलग अलग थे. क्यों एक में सबस्यूम करके जीएसटी जो बनाया गया, तो कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है उसका, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है बाकी सबसे. फर्स्ट इज द डेस्टिनेशन बेस्ड कंजम्पशन टैक्स. व्हेन आई से डेस्टिनेशन बेस्ड कंजम्पशन टैक्स, इसका मतलब जीएसटी में व्हाई वी कॉल इट as a destination based consumption tax. GST is a tax which is levied in the state or union territory where the supply is consumed. वो सप्लाई गुड्स की भी सप्लाई हो सकती है, सर्विसेज की भी हो सकती है. तो गुड्स का मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि जहां पे सिर्फ गुड्स ही कंज्यूम होते हैं, सर्विसेज भी कंज्यूम होती हैं. यू आर एक्चुअली रिसीविंग दोज सर्विसेज. सो वी विल वेयर वी से कि दीज सर्विसेज हैव बीन कंज्यूम्ड, उसके लिए सेपरेट प्रोविजंस हैं जो बताते हैं कि आप किस स्टेट में सर्विसेज को कंज्यूम मानोगे, क्योंकि सर्विसेज इंटेंजिबल होती हैं, दिखती नहीं है हमें. तो वो थोड़ा सा एक कंफ्यूजन कई बार क्रिएट करती हैं कि किस स्टेट में आप ये कह सकते हो कि सर्विसेज कंज्यूम हो रही हैं. दैट इज वाई सेपरेट प्रोविजंस आर देयर. गुड्स के लिए भी सेपरेट प्रोविजंस हैं जिनको हम प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई प्रोविजंस बोलते हैं. बट जिस स्टेट में हम ये मानते हैं कि सप्लाई हैज बीन कंज्यूम्ड, जहां उस सप्लाई की डेस्टिनेशन होती है, दैट स्टेट हैज टू पे. Now, that is why it is called destination based consumption tax. If we see the VAT या सेल्स टैक्स जो आपका था, सेंट्रल सेल्स टैक्स, वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स, they were origin based tax. जिस स्टेट ने वो प्रोड्यूस किया है उसको उसका रेवेन्यू मिलता था, उस स्टेट में वो लेवी किया जाता था. दिस इज द डिफरेंस. सो जीएसटी का जो कॉन्सेप्ट था डेस्टिनेशन बेस्ड कंजम्पशन टैक्स था. इनफैक्ट स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक चीज मैं आप लोगों से पूछना भूल गई कि जीएसटी विच वॉज द फर्स्ट कंट्री टू इम्प्लीमेंट जीएसटी. जीएसटी सबसे पहले किसने इंप्लीमेंट किया था? दिस इज देयर इन योर स्टडी मटेरियल ऑल्सो. एज आई टोल्ड यू कि यू शुड कम आफ्टर हैविंग अ ग्लांस ऑफ द स्टडी मटेरियल. तो ये टेस्ट भी हो जाएगा किसी ने स्टडी मटेरियल देखा था आने से पहले कि नहीं. ओके, प्रजापति इज टेलिंग अबाउट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट. So first country. Okay, Aryan is also telling about Genesis. So Genesis तो आप सबने अपने अच्छे से देखा है और you have gone through the genesis of GST. Kinnari, you are right in your answer. And okay. Don't worry, Anita, I will keep explaining in Hindi also in between. Yes, Anubhav, you are right. Only year is not correct, but at least you know the country. And then Nehal is right. And Ria, right. So this shows that you have done some research before coming. Rohini is also right. Then Deepika. Oh, Deepika, don't worry. I will keep explaining everything in English also. You won't miss anything. If I am saying anything in Hindi, nobody will miss anything. I will try my best. Saipa is also right. Sorry, Saipa. Prajapati is right. Then Anubhav, now you are correct in the year also in which the year in which it is done. Muzahid is right. In fact, all of you are giving correct answer. At least I have not got any wrong answer till now. Vaishnavi, correct. Then okay, Harsh, correct. Year also is correct. And then Harsh is Harsh Kaur is also correct. Anubhav, you're right. Then Noshin, correct, absolutely correct. And let me see. Riddhi Bain, right. Pravathi, right. Tissa Vijay, correct. Nadeem, correct. Savia, correct. So all of you know the answer. Why should I tell you? Because most of you know the correct answer. I think Nitin, you're right. Absolutely right. So Prerna is also correct. Satish is also correct. Kinnari is also correct. Umesh, Umesh, we are not the first country to implement GST. Mithun is right. Okay, Sham, you have mentioned the year. Country also I wanted to know. Okay, Pravati is also right. So let us see which was the first country. It was France, and in the year 1954 it was implemented. Okay, GST was first implemented. So after that, uh, so many decades have passed, and almost more than 160 countries in the world have implemented GST because this has GST carries so many benefits. So what benefits GST carry, this we'll be discussing, and with this we'll know that why everyone has implemented GST. Shyam is also correct, and let us see Ashwarya, right. So destination-based consumption tax, one of the benefits of GST was that it is collected by the state on their consumption, because consumption-based tax है ये, तो जहाँ just where it is consumed, the state in which it is consumed, that will levy GST. जो मेन फीचर जो इसको पुराने टैक्सेस से अलग करता है वो उसमें एक और भी है, वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स, एंड इनफैक्ट इसकी वजह से सारे मेन बेनिफिट्स एक्रू होते हैं, एंड दैट इज द वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स. Intention of Senvat was also this, VAT was also this, कि सिर्फ वैल्यू एडिशन पे ही टैक्स लगे पूरे अमाउंट पे बार बार. वी शुड नॉट हैव मल्टीपल टैक्सेस ऑन द सेम अमाउंट. बट दिस वाज एक्चुअली अचीव बाय जीएसटी ओनली, बिकॉज जीएसटी में सारे टैक्सेस सबस्यूम हो गए, ऑल द टैक्सेस वर सबस्यूम्ड इन जीएसटी, सो वी कुड फाइनली अचीव द concept of value added tax. How GST is a value added tax, that we will learn through by way of an example, and then we'll come back to this slide again. See, if we have purchased the goods worth rupees 100 and rate of tax is 10%, so a tax of 10 rupees is paid on that purchase of goods. I have purchased some goods and on that I have paid 10 rupees tax. Then after adding some value, maybe profit elements, I'm assuming that I'm a trader to keep this example simple. So we have purchased goods for rupees 100, paid a tax of rupees 10 on the purchase, and then when we sold the goods, we sold it at rupees 150. Tax rate is same, that is 10%. So tax becomes 15 rupees payable on the output supply. Now we have to GST, the principle of GST, value added tax, says that you have to pay the differential tax, difference to be paid. Which difference? Tax paid on output and tax paid on input. So difference किसका है? 15 और 10 का. The difference between 15 and 10. That means tax paid on output and tax paid on input. The difference between that has to be paid, and then it becomes a value added tax. So rupees 5 is the difference of 15 and 10. Rupees 5 is payable. Now, how this is a value added tax? This is the concept of GST. GST provides that tax paid on output or output tax minus input tax is the tax payable. Okay. How it is the in value added tax? This is the simplest example. बिल्कुल simple terms में आप इसको पढ़ोगे आपको एकदम समझ आ जाएगा. Now again I'm explaining this same example in a different manner. Value of purchase was 100 rupees. Value of sale was 150 rupees. So that means total value addition. वैल्यू एडिशन मतलब जो आपने परचेज और सेल में जो डिफरेंस, जो टोटल वैल्यू ऐड की, आपने 100 रुपीज के गुड्स परचेज के, यू परचेज द गुड्स वर्थ ₹100 and you sold them for ₹150, so there was a value addition of 50 rupees. Okay, now this value addition we have to tax. अगर हम कहते हैं if we say that this is a value added tax, तो actually में क्या होना चाहिए, जो मेरा value addition है सिर्फ उसी पे tax पे होना चाहिए. Then I would conclude that yes, it is a value added tax. मतलब value addition पे ही tax पे हो रहा है. Tax is only being paid on value addition. Then I can conclude this. Now my value addition is of ₹50. Tax rate is 10%. So I will apply 10% on 50 rupees and that comes out to ₹5. मैंने इसी पे टैक्स पे किया है, वही मेरा फिर से पे हो गया. So tax on value addition is ₹5. That means we can conclude that yes, it is a tax on value addition. This way I can conclude that tax मैं actually value addition पर ही पे कर रहा हूँ. This is evident from this example. बहुत simple example इसलिए हमने लिया है कि आप इस concept को समझ पाओ कि tax we have to pay under GST. GST is payable on the value added from purchase to sale. अब what are the benefits of this value addition? This is a value added tax. Now, because of this value addition, there is a continuous chain of credits. That means when we sell when we sell the goods from A to B, B to C, C to D, A will sell the goods to B and he will get the credit. A will get the credit of whatever purchases were there when he is paying the tax on the goods sold to B. Similarly, the tax which B pays at this sale, he will get credit when he sell these goods to C, and C will also get credit when he sell these goods to D. So D is the person who is actually consuming the goods. ये wholesaler है, retailer है, and then we come the, in fact, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and buyer. If we take it this way, he is manufacturer, he is wholesaler, he is retailer, and he is the ultimate buyer or consumer. So ultimate consumer is the one who is bearing the burden. बाकी सबने क्या किया? A ने B से टैक्स लिया और डिपॉजिट कर दिया. B ने C से टैक्स लिया और डिपॉजिट कर दिया. C ने D से टैक्स लिया और डिपॉजिट कर दिया. So everybody is depositing tax by collecting it from their respective buyers. So they are shifting the burden also. So इससे दो पॉइंट्स हमारे एक्सप्लेन होते हैं. So इससे दो, we have explained 2 points here. One is continuous chain of credits. We are continuously getting credit at each stage of our distribution, right from production till the point of consumption or final consumption of the supply. We have got the credit. At each stage, we have got the credit. Okay, first point is this. There is continuous chain of credits. At none of the points our credit is broken. Chain is broken. A, B, C, D. These were 4 persons which were involved. And at each stage, we have got the credit. So this chain of credit is continuous. It is not being broken. Under earlier laws, what was there? That one is the manufacturing stage tax, which will not be creditable under the sale stage, and services are there, they are not, will not get credit against VAT will not get credit against service tax paid. So this is not today. This is not the situation today. Today, when GST is there, you will get whatever tax you have paid as GST or in the name of GST, that will be eligible as credit. उसका credit मिलेगा आपको. तो इसीलिए continuous chain of credit से कहीं भी break नहीं हो रही ये chain. अब now how this chain is broken, or this chain was broken earlier, that also we will see, so that you can appreciate this point better, that how a continuous chain of credits is there. Okay. I hope this point is clear to you all. In case anybody has any doubt, they can mention in the chat box. Somebody has asked a doubt, I think. Pratiksha is saying voice is not audible. If this problem persists, please let me know if others are also facing this problem. Now, final burden borne by the consumer. This point has also been discussed because here the final burden is borne by the final consumer. A is selling to B is selling to C is selling to D. So everybody is taking the GST amount from his buyer, and this way the ultimate consumer, he is the ultimate consumer, Mr. D, and he is bearing the burden. Let me see if others are also facing this problem of me not being audible. Audible, okay. Ashwarya saying audible. Sham, you have a doubt, you can ask your doubt. Please, Sham, ask your doubt. Okay, voice is clear. Maybe you have some issue at your end. Please check it. Okay, I am audible. So anybody who has any doubt, please ask that doubt regarding this concept. If it is clear to you, then also please mention so that I can move ahead. Is Anubhav is asking, is there anything to remember from this slide? You just need to know this concept, Anubhav, because these are the core concepts of GST. So there can be some MCQ small question from this. Just understand this concept. Questions we'll discuss afterwards. We'll see what type of questions can be asked from this chapter, but please try to understand everything. This exam point of view से ही मत समझो कि बस एग्जाम में जो आएगा फटाफट वो बता दो, फिर उसके बाद आगे सुनने की क्या जरूरत है. तो थोड़ा if you will understand the concept of GST ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा आपको आगे का भी लो. अब नो टैक्स कैस्केडिंग भी इसी से रिलेटेड है. टैक्स कैस्केडिंग का मतलब क्या होता है? टैक्स कैस्केडिंग मतलब टैक्स ऑन टैक्स. टैक्स ऑन टैक्स का क्या मतलब हुआ? अंडर द अर्लियर लॉज Senvat excise duty लगती थी. Excise duty was levied. On excise duty, VAT was being levied. On excise duty, service tax was being levied. If they are being used for providing any service, any goods were being provided. So they form the part of the cost. So that is why tax on tax was being levied. CST amount was included in the cost. So tax VAT was being levied on CST amount. This was tax cascading. That means tax was being levied on tax. But under GST, since there is only one tax, that is GST, full credit of GST paid on inputs is available on output. That is why there is no tax cascading. अलग अलग taxes होंगे अलग अलग नाम से, different taxes from different names will be there. Then the tax cascading is possible if they are not creditable against each other. But here there is only one tax which is being paid, that is GST, and it is full credit. It is fully creditable at each of these stages. Let me see if any of you have any doubts. Otherwise, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, Sakti, you are clear. Charan is saying clear. Anybody has any doubt, they can also mention. I think Sham was asking for some doubt. Okay, I'm audible. Ishwarya. Okay, so far it is clear to Ishwarya. And Kusumanchi say tax on tax. Okay, tax cascading you have explained. That is right. Final consumer will pay the tax. Sham is asking, at each stage tax is increasing. Yes, Sham, you are right. At each stage tax will increase. Definitely tax will increase because value is also being added. We are saying it is a value added tax. So at each stage value is being increasing, and on that value tax will also be increased. So that is true, but it is not the case that the tax which I have paid on the first stage, I'm again paying a tax on that value. No, that amount of tax is not being subject to tax again. That is what is no tax cascading. In fact, if you see these 4 points, value added tax, chain of credits, final burden borne by consumer, and no tax cascading, these 4 points are totally based on only one thing: value addition is being taxed, and tax is being taken from the consumer. Price of the product will increase, but not as compared to what was being done earlier, Sham, because earlier every tax used to form part of the cost. We used to levy tax on tax, and then there used to be a many-fold increase in the prices of the products. Now, because ultimately, if you will see, I will give you an example in the next class that will be the best example to show you that ultimately you are paying the tax on only the value addition. Let me give you a very broad example because today you will not be able to understand that example in depth. The price at which A has purchased the product is 100. and the price at which Mr. D has purchased the product is 300 and the rate of tax is 10%. So finally, because everybody is taking tax from the other person, so nobody is actually bearing the burden. It is Mr. D. बेचारे Mr. D ही हैं जो actually में burden bear कर रहे हैं. तो अब ये देख लेते हैं कि उनको भी इतना ज्यादा तो नहीं पड़ रहा कि उनको अनड्यू हम टैक्स कर रहे हो. नो. सो मिस्टर डी का जो टैक्स है वो वैल्यू एडिशन कितना हुआ? 100 से 300 के बीच में 200 रुपीज का वैल्यू एडिशन है. सो टोटल टैक्स ए टू डी के बीच में जो टैक्स आ रहा है वो 20 रुपीज से ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए. टोटल टैक्स जो मिस्टर डी को पे करना पड़ रहा है वो 20 रुपीज होना चाहिए. हर स्टेज में टैक्स बढ़ेगा क्योंकि मान लीजिए यहाँ से ए ने बी को बेचा 200 रुपीज में. सो हियर द टैक्स विल बी 10 रुपीज. He has sold it to him for 250. So the tax amount will be 25, जिसमें से कि टैक्स 10 रुपीज का क्रेडिट मिल जाएगा. यहाँ पे भी कुछ क्रेडिट रहा होगा, बट ओवरऑल जो फाइनल टैक्स है वो वैल्यू एडिशन पे ही होना चाहिए. उतना तो टैक्स बढ़ेगा बिकॉज इफ वैल्यू इज इंक्रीजिंग देन टैक्स विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज, बट देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी अनड्यू टैक्स. टैक्स के ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगना चाहिए. दैट इज द कोर कॉन्सेप्ट. अगर वो आपको समझ में आ गया तो आपको ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया इसका मतलब. ठीक है. Anubhav is saying GST was a game changer move, should have been much earlier. So now you all appreciated the importance of GST. That is good. That was our purpose. So good that you all appreciated that. Okay. Now, okay, this is clear. May 26 की बुक्स जो है आपको May 26 September 26 की बुक्स will be available on CDS portal. You have to keep checking CDS portal. बट जो वेब होस्टेड कॉपी है उससे आप पढ़ना शुरू कर दीजिएगा. आज भी जाने के बाद आफ्टर दिस सेशन यू शुड रीड फ्रॉम दी स्टडी मटेरियल. डोंट procrastinate your studies. Please. I'm once again repeating this. VAT or GST, which is expensive? Kinri, if I see from the credit point of view, obviously prices should be less under GST. Following the GST structure, there will be continuous chain of credits, which was not there in VAT. VAT में CST का क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता था, Senvat का क्रेडिट, Senvat मतलब एक्साइज ड्यूटी का क्रेडिट नहीं था. तो वो सब चीजें अभी हम करेंगे. यू विल गेट टू नो कि वो सारा क्रेडिट ना मिलने से वो प्राइस का पार्ट बन जाएगा. तो प्राइस का पार्ट बनने से प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा. दैट इज द मेन पॉइंट. Nitin, it is clear to you? Okay, let me see if anybody has any other query. Otherwise, we'll move forward. For cascading of tax in module, it is okay. Sukhbir is talking about the example of which we have given an elaborate example. Don't worry, Sukhbir, that example also I will discuss. I want to put it in PPT and then discuss it with you. So any example which is given in study material, we'll try not to leave it. Maybe not, if not today, then we'll discuss it next class. Don't worry. Okay, thank you, Harsh. You will have the access to PPTs. Don't worry. After the session, PPTs will be uploaded. You have to appear for exams in January, Sham. We have to see the schedule. I told you that we'll have 2 classes a week. I will just see till what date these classes will continue. But before January, though, definitely they will be, I think, maybe till January they are completed. Or otherwise, for rest of the sessions, you can refer the recorded lectures. Okay, so now everything is clear. Till now, everything is clear to everyone. I'm not getting any doubt. Okay. I buy 25, but I'm attending September. So for this study material, if all of you have purchased, any of you or those of you have purchased the earlier edition, for them I would say then you have to see the updates as well as you have to see the amendments from the latest edition. That what amendments are there, they are mentioned in the bold italics, that you have to check. Now we come to need for GST in India. That is what we are time and again stressing upon, that why it is better from the earlier taxes or pre-GST regime, why it was not, what were the shortcomings of the pre-GST regime because of which we had to introduce GST. First was double taxation. Double taxation का भी एक example हम करेंगे so that you will get clear how double taxation was there. Because double taxation in a way means tax cascading, tax on tax was being levied, multiplicity of taxes. Now, how multiplicity of taxes are there? If anybody has to start a business under the earlier law, there were so many taxes, so many laws where he has to get registered. He has to file so many returns. CST में रजिस्टर करना है, वैट में करना है, एक्साइज में करना है, सब जगह रजिस्टर करो, रिटर्न्स भरो सबके अलग अलग, पे द टैक्सेस सेपरेटली. दे हैव सेपरेट ड्यू डेट्स. एवरीबडी हैज देयर ओन ड्यू डेट्स. वैट के अलग है, CST के अलग है, देन यू हैव दी एक्साइज की अलग ड्यू डेट चल रही है. यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज ऑल्सो, सर्विस टैक्स का अलग सब कुछ चल रहा है. सो मल्टीप्लिसिटी ऑफ टैक्सेस हैज मेड द बिजनेस सच अ कम्बरसम टास्क that why ease of doing business is there today, because एक ही टैक्स है, एक ही जगह रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है, रिटर्न्स भी कॉमन होंगी, सारे प्रोसीजर्स कॉमन है, यूनिफॉर्म प्रोसीजर थ्रू आउट इंडिया फॉलो है। मल्टीप्लिसिटी ऑफ टैक्सेस के अलावा यूनिफॉर्म वैट नहीं था। यूनिफॉर्म वैट का मतलब क्या है? एवरी स्टेट हैज फॉर्मुलेटेड देयर ओन वैट लॉज इन देयर ओन मैनर। जीएसटी में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है विच ऑल ऑफ यू शुड नोट डाउन, दैट इवन दो every state has their own state GST law, state GST Act, but the basic core principles are same. In fact, आपको मैं suggest करूंगी, आप GST की CBIC वेबसाइट पे आप जा सकते हो, CBIC वेबसाइट पे आप जाके, इनफैक्ट टाइम परमिट्स में नेक्स्ट क्लास में आपको शो भी करूंगी, आप उस पे स्टेट एक्ट्स देखिए। स्टेट एक्ट्स में आप देखोगे ऑलमोस्ट सब, ऑलमोस्ट नहीं, इनफैक्ट एवरीथिंग इज सेम, all the sections, all the rules, everything is same. Any notification which is issued under the central legislation, states also have to issue that. Circulars also similar way. Everything is totally uniform. Only thing is कि हाँ स्टेट जीएसटी है, एक सेंट्रल जीएसटी है। उसका कारण है बिकॉज इंडिया इज अ फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर, इंडिया में सेंटर भी है, स्टेट भी है। सेंटर हैज इट्स ओन पावर, स्टेट हैज इट्स ओन पावर। सो ये जो डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ पावर्स है इंडिया में, उसकी वजह से वी हैड टू हैव अ डुअल जीएसटी विद स्टेट एज वेल एज सेंटर, बट यूनिफॉर्म है। जो यूनिफॉर्मिटी वैट में नहीं थी, द यूनिफॉर्मिटी विच वाज लैकिंग इन वैट इज देयर इन जीएसटी. If you can imagine that situation where every state has its own laws, then due dates were different, procedures were different, rates of taxes, there were so many, multiple rates were there for the same VAT, then multiple taxes were there, registrations, returns, so, such a cumbersome process it was. Now that has been relaxed under GST. तो उस extent तक GST ने इन चीजों को relax किया है. If you see these disadvantages in sari situations, the situations which we have discussed just now, because of that, what was the situation there? First of all, non-inclusion of several local levies. स्टेट वैट जब आया था तो स्टेट वैट से एवरीबडी वाज वेरी मच होपफुल। जब वैट 2005 में आया तो सब बहुत होपफुल थे कि हाँ अभी सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा, एंड ऑल आर यू नो इश्यूज, टीदिंग इश्यूज थोड़ा बहुत रहेंगे, बाकी ऑल द इश्यूज विच वर देयर अंडर अर्लियर लॉज इन टैक्सेस दे विल बी रिजॉल्व। बट पहली फर्स्ट थिंग वाज कि वैट में सारे टैक्सेस, सारे इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस को सब्स्यूम नहीं किया गया, तो बहुत सारे लोकल लेवीज तब भी रह गए। स्टेट, पहली बात, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट वाज अ स्टेट वैट। सेकंड थिंग, लग्जरी टैक्स, एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स, बहुत सारे अलग अलग ऑक्ट्रॉय, एवरीथिंग वाज देयर सेपरेट इन इट। सो वही मल्टीप्लिसिटी ऑफ टैक्सेस वाज स्टिल देयर व्हिच वी वांटेड टू एड्रेस अंडर वैट. No Senvat after manufacturing stage. Senvat is excise duty. So after manufacture, this excise duty used to become part of the cost. उससे फिर वही आपका cascading effect आ रहा था, tax on tax लग रहा था. Another cascading was on account of non-vatable CST. CST का भी credit VAT में नहीं मिलता था, तो उस पे भी VAT लग रहा था, तो वो फिर tax cascading हो रही थी. This is the same point कि Senvat जो है वो अगर आपने VAT लगाना है तो Senvat को include कर देते. We'll give an example for this. और डबल टैक्सेशन ऑफ सर्टेन ट्रांजेक्शन्स, इन दोनों चीजों का वील सी सेपरेट एग्जांपल्स. कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स ऐसी थी जिसपे गुड्स की तरह भी टैक्स लग रहा था, सर्विसेज की तरह भी टैक्स लग रहा था, क्योंकि क्लियर बाइफर्केशन नहीं थी. अभी भी जीएसटी लॉ में ऐसा है कि गुड्स और सर्विसेज का बाइफर्केशन है, बट दैट इज ओनली फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ नोइंग द रेट ऑफ टैक्स. सिर्फ रेट ऑफ टैक्स की वजह से हमें ये देखना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज सप्लाई होना चाहिए, इट शुड बी अ सप्लाई पर से. ओके, that is the main point. Excise duty was central levy. Yes, excise duty was a central levy, but it was a state levy also. There were certain central excise duty was there, which was levied by the center. Plus, on certain products, state excise duty is also be there, and it is still there on certain products. We'll discuss it. Anubhav has given the right example, software services. This was the example, Anubhav, which we have given in study material also, and I will also be giving you the same example. Now let us see. So this is actually rupee symbol. This dash is rupee symbol. So under the earlier tax regime, what was happening? Just quickly, we'll go through this example because we want to cover more concepts today. Under the earlier tax regime, if goods were manufactured for rupees 100, आपने कोई goods manufacture किए 1000 रुपए के, और उसके ऊपर आपने excise duty लगाई 12.5%. VAT was also payable at the rate of 14.30% on that. तो उसकी billing कैसे होती थी? That will tell you how tax on tax was there. So total assessable value was rupees 1000. Excise duty at the rate of 12.5% was 125. 125 रुपीज का एक्साइज ड्यूटी लग गई. अब जब आपको वैट लगाना होता था, क्योंकि एक्साइज ड्यूटी का क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता था, तो वो कॉस्ट का पार्ट बन जाता था. यानी उस अब आप जब वैट लगाओगे तो एक्साइज ड्यूटी को इंक्लूड कर दोगे, बिकॉज नो क्रेडिट ऑफ excise duty was available against the VAT. So this value will include 1000 rupees plus 125. Value for VAT will become 1125, 1125 rupees. On that, we levy a VAT at the rate of rupees 14.30%. And that will make your tax as total invoice value will be this. Tax will be 160 rupees plus 125. These two taxes will be levied. However, had it been GST, then what would have happened? Whatever you will have got, you don't have to impose tax twice. Excise duty and VAT, they will be merged, and only one tax would have been levied at only one time, 1 point, one tax would have been levied. तो ये दो taxes अभी होते ही नहीं ना, एक्साइज ड्यूटी और वैट दो अलग अलग नहीं लगेंगे, एक ही टैक्स लगेगा, उसका जो भी रेट होगा। पहले दो अलग अलग टैक्सेस लग रहे थे, मल्टीप्लिसिटी ऑफ टैक्सेस भी था, और क्रेडिट ना मिलने की वजह से वो कॉस्ट का पार्ट बनने से वैट का अमाउंट कितना ज्यादा बढ़ गया था। अब हम देखते हैं, अगर हम जिस दूसरा जो हमने बात की थी सीएसटी की, कि सीएसटी का क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता था, उससे कॉस्ट कैसे बढ़ रही थी। इफ अ डीलर परचेजेस गुड्स फ्रॉम पंजाब एंड ही हैज गॉट इट फॉर रुपीज 1000 रुपीज, he has paid a central sales tax at the rate of rupees 2 on that। तो वैट के लिए टैक्सेबल वैल्यू क्या होती थी आपकी, this is 1200 rupees, but this is not by adding 20 actually. This is a separate transaction. Actually, goods have been purchased by Mr. A. He purchased goods and he paid a CST of rupees 2%. Then he is selling those goods. Now, this transaction is a sale transaction. This is a purchase transaction. थोड़ा सा फर्क है ऊपर वाली transaction में. In previous transaction, it was the same transaction. I have manufactured some goods and now I am selling them. So I am a manufacturer, so I paid excise duty also. I have to sell them, so I have to pay VAT also. But on same transaction, मेरी same transaction के ऊपर दो बार टैक्स लगा। पहले एक्साइज ड्यूटी लगी और उसको कॉस्ट में इंक्लूड करके फिर मैंने वैट लगाया, तो ये एक ही ट्रांजेक्शन है जिसके ऊपर टैक्स लगा। Here there are two transactions. I am a dealer. I purchase goods and I paid a CST. Had it been GST, मुझे 2% का क्रेडिट मिल जाता और जब मैं अपनी सेल पर जो भी टैक्स पे करती उसमें से मैं ये क्रेडिट सेट ऑफ कर लेती। बट प्री जीएसटी रेजिम में ऐसा नहीं था। इट वॉज एन इंटरस्टेट ट्रांजेक्शन, इस पे सीएसटी लगा, सेंट्रल सेल्स टैक्स लगा, और ये 20 रुपीज का क्रेडिट मुझे नहीं मिला। 1000 रुपीज के गुड्स थे, 200 का मेरा वैल्यू एडिशन था, तो I should have paid tax only on this 200 rupees. But what has actually been done, we have paid tax on this entire 1200 rupees. 12.5% tax has to be paid and total invoice value became 1350 because CST का क्रेडिट अवेलेबल नहीं है। 20 रुपीज का क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा आपको। जो क्रेडिट मिलेगा वो कितना मिलेगा आपको, सॉरी कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा आपको। जो टैक्स पे करना है, यू हैव टू पे टैक्स ऑन द एंटायर सेल वैल्यू, दैट इज 1200, एंड दिस 20 रुपीज विल बिकम पार्ट ऑफ योर कॉस्ट। इसका आप कुछ भी नहीं करोगे, इसका आप क्रेडिट नहीं लोगे क्योंकि सीएसटी का क्रेडिट वैट के अगेंस्ट नहीं मिलता था। दिस वॉज द प्री जीएसटी प्रॉब्लम। लेट अस सी इफ एनी डाउट्स आर देयर, अदरवाइज आई विल मूव फॉरवर्ड। वैट डिड नॉट हैव क्रेडिट, वैट में क्रेडिट सिर्फ वैट का मिलता था। तो अगर हैड दिस ट्रांजेक्शन बीन इंस्टेड ऑफ सीएसटी, हैड इट बीन वैट पेड, इट वॉज एन इंट्रास्टेट ट्रांजेक्शन, वैट ही आपने पे किया होता, तो ये 20 रुपीज का क्रेडिट आपको ये 150 रुपीज में मिल जाता। आई होप किनरी इट इज क्लियर टू यू। let me see if any other doubt anybody has. कैस्केडिंग का एग्जाम्पल, कैस्केडिंग का एग्जाम्पल यही है ललित, यू वर आस्किंग अबाउट कैस्केडिंग एग्जाम्पल। दिस इज द एग्जाम्पल टैक्स ऑन टैक्स। सीएसटी एक टैक्स लगा, ठीक है, उसके ऊपर ही आपका उसका कोई क्रेडिट, ये तो क्रेडिट ना मिलना हुआ वैसे, आप प्रीवियस सॉरी, दिस इज द टैक्स ऑन टैक्स। आपने 125 रुपीज, लेट मी रिमूव इट, एक्चुअली बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ पे हो गया है। सी 1000 रुपीज था, उसके ऊपर टैक्स लगा 125, वो हमारी वैट की वैल्यू में ऐड हो गया 125। तो ये हमने किस पे टैक्स पे किया, वैट हमने 1000 रुपीज पे भी पे कर दिया और 125 पे भी पे कर दिया, इस पे भी वैट पे किया। वो तो ओरिजिनल अमाउंट था, वैल्यू थी हमारी, बट हमने 125 के ऊपर भी वैट पे कर दिया, यानी कि दिस इज टैक्स ऑन टैक्स। दिस टैक्स 125 वाज एक्साइज ड्यूटी, उस एक्साइज ड्यूटी पे मैंने वैट पे कर दिया, दिस इज टैक्स ऑन टैक्स, दिस इज द टैक्स कैस्केडिंग। ओके, so I hope Lalit it is clear to you. In case you still have any doubt, you can let me know. Nausheen, can distributor or later increase the percentage of, no, nobody can change the percentage of tax. Percentage of tax तो आपका एक टैरिफ होता है जिसके अंदर टैक्स रेट लिखा होता है, आपको अपने टैरिफ रेट से देखना होता है, टैरिफ से देखना होता है रेट क्या लगेगा। टैक्स रेट नौशीन इज फिक्स्ड, So nobody can change tax. Value they can change. Value addition. मैं एक retailer हूँ. मैंने goods खरीदे 1000 rupees में and I sold them for 1500. I added my margin. If I am a manufacturer, I have added some value to the goods. I manufactured some goods from the raw material and then I increase the price. So I can increase the price. I can't change the rate. Rate is fixed. I have booked, Nitin is, I have booked my study kit. It is relevant for May 25. Please tell me where I have to take amended books. For generally for income tax and GST, we suggest you should take the amended books. Otherwise, rest of the books I think you can refer for May 26 also. But for taxation, I would suggest Nitin, you should refer the amended books. It means Senvat was pure income of government because there was no credit available. Senvat credit was available against Senvat. अगर एक मैन्युफैक्चरर ने अपने गुड्स मैन्युफैक्चर करे एंड देन ही सोल्ड देम, तो जो टैक्स एक्साइज ड्यूटी उसने पे की है एंड देन ही हैज गिवन इट टू अ मैन्युफैक्चरर एंड ही इज फर्दर यूजिंग इट फॉर मैन्युफैक्चर पर्पस, देन दैट इज सेन्वेटेबल. सेनवैट क्रेडिट मिलता था, स्पेसिफाइड फ्लो ऑफ क्रेडिट वाज देयर, बट वैट के अगेंस्ट नहीं मिलता था. Till the time of manufacturing stage only it was available. This 200 which I was referring, I think in the previous example you were referring. Okay, here you are saying how 200 come. This is actually after getting value addition. ये profit margin हो गया एक तरीके से. Himanshi, this 200 I have here, that is I have here specifically mentioned कि मैंने 100 वाले goods 200 के बेचे हैं. ये sorry 1000 वाले goods 1200 के बेचे हैं. This 200 is my maybe profit margin, maybe, or plus जो मेरे जो expenses भी रहेंगे. Even if I am a retailer, I would have incurred some expenses ना. मैंने goods का transport incur किया, मेरा office है, so many expenses would be there. So I have added my cost, the overheads and whatever expenses are there. Plus I have added my profit. That is 200. That is my value addition. 200. This is an imaginary figure. This we have not computed from anything. Okay. So it is understood to Nehal. Lalit, you also got this point. So CST can't get credit. You can't take credit of CST against VAT. That was the point. Yes. Double taxation example. Some of you, I think Anubhav had given the example also. कि double taxation का example software और बहुत common example है. Earlier restaurant services were also there. Catering services पे भी VAT भी लगता था, GST भी लगता था. तो यहाँ पे भी सॉफ्टवेयर में भी सेम थिंग वाज देयर. सॉफ्टवेयर वाज कंसिडर्ड एज सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स एज वेल एज सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज. तो उस पे सर्विस टैक्स भी लग जाता था, वैट भी लग जाता था सेम प्राइस के ऊपर. सो इफ द सॉफ्टवेयर प्राइस इज 10,000 rupees, then we will, I think I have taken an example also this. Yes, you can take that example. The software example, software cost is 10,000 rupees. VAT is at the rate of 10%. Same value, on same value, we have taken 1,000 rupees as VAT and then service tax also. That becomes 2,500. So this was the GST. Why GST was introduced? GST was a cure to all the ills, all the, you can say, the shortcomings which was there in the earlier taxes. We had tried to cure, or the government had tried to cure all those shortcomings which were there in the earlier structure. First is uniform tax laws. All tax laws are uniform. This is very sure that all state laws are based on the central legislations only. Only thing is that minor, the, you can say, the differences which they have to bring, because it has to be brought for a particular state. So जो center वाले points थे वो हटाकर बाकी everything is same. Uniform legislations हैं. Cascading जो Senvat और service tax वाली थी वो हटा दी गई है. That cascading is not there. Continuous chain of credits is there from the original producer's point up to the retailer consumers level. यानी manufacturing stage से consumer की stage तक continuous chain of credits. At this we have seen that every transaction which you have undertaken, you will get the credit for your purchase, you will pay on the output. Some block credit concept is there, we will see in input tax credit chapter, but primarily because it is not that a particular tax, CST का credit VAT में नहीं मिलेगा, SENVAT का credit VAT में नहीं मिलेगा, that concept is not there. Few items, few goods or services are there on which credit will not be available. That is a different thing. That is a block credit list. But otherwise, conceptually, you will get the credit of GST paid on purchases against GST paid on sale. We are once again sharing with you the WhatsApp group link, and I request all of you to join the WhatsApp group through that link. Let me quickly go through the legislative framework. In fact, today I had decided that I will take the GST quiz also, but that I will take in Saturday's class. In Saturday class, please all of you join through two devices. Maybe you are joining through laptop in class and have one mobile phone handy with you through which you can join the quiz. It will be a live quiz. Questions will come on your mobile device. We'll give you a link through which you can join. It will be an MCQ quiz. Whatever we will be learning in next class, based on that, I will be asking you the questions and you all can participate in the live quiz. We'll be showing the leaderboard. We'll be ranking the students based on their performance. So attentively go through this class. You must have gone through this class attentively for next class also. Revise after this class. Next class also attend it properly. And after, at the end of the class, we'll be having that quiz. Certain questions will be testing through quiz. Let me complete the legislative framework and then we'll be winding up the class for today. But in next class, we'll try to cover more concepts with a lesser time. What is the benefit of joining the WhatsApp group? Okay, Saipa is asking what is the benefit, because in the WhatsApp group, if certain notifications are there, we want to inform you something about the class. You want to, uh, you know, uh, share some your feedback or something you want. You can interact among yourself also. If somebody has any doubt, anybody can share it in the group. So this group will keep you updated regarding these LVC classes. So this way you will be benefited from this WhatsApp group, and we request all of you to join that WhatsApp group. But before we proceed further in this legislative framework, I just want all of you, I will give you 2 minutes to share your feedback through the feedback link. In fact, do you have the feedback link with you? You'll get the Shivam, you will get these notes. I will be uploading it in the BOS app. We have BOS app where these links will be uploaded, and you all have to download those links. This PPT in WhatsApp group, I'm not sure because we'll be uploading it in the group. Okay. So feedback, let me proceed and I will share the, if the technical person has, yes, in the portal, these will be shared. And if you have the feedback form, I request all of you to fill the feedback also so that we can know that yes, if you want any changes, if you are comfortable with this, if you found this class useful, anything you want to share in the feedback, so that we can know that yes, this is something our students want, because our ultimate objective is to make this class fruitful to you all, useful to you all. Okay. So let us proceed further, then I will give you some time for the feedback also. Yes, in BOS app. BOS app you have to download. There, these notes will be uploaded. Legislative framework. Now, what is the legislative framework of GST? That how GST will be levied as interstate and intrastate supply. Now, before this legislative framework, we'll quickly go through the legislative, interstate and intrastate supply. Very simple definition of interstate and intrastate supply. Just a minute. You go through the slide and then I will discuss. Interstate supply is the supply where the location of supplier and place of supply is in two different states, two different union territories, or one is in one state and another is in one union territory. That means your supplier is located in one state, your place of supply is in a different state. Supplier is located in one state, place of supply is in a different union territory. Supplier is in one union territory and place of supply is in different union territory. Supply is being made in a different union territory. Then it is an interstate supply, जहां दो states, दो union territories या एक state और एक union territory involved है. Supplier एक जगह है, supply दूसरी जगह हो रही है, वो interstate supply कहलाता है. Let us see an example quickly. Supplier is in Bihar. Buyer is in Delhi. Goods Bihar से Delhi जा रहे हैं. Goods are moving from Bihar to Delhi. It is an interstate supply. Okay. Then the next one is the intrastate supply. Intrastate supply is the location of supplier and place of supply is in the same state or same union territory. So, for example, let us see the supplier is in Bihar and buyer is also in Bihar. Goods are moving from Bihar to Bihar. That is an intrastate supply within the same state. In simple words, this is the definition. Simply समझने के लिए ये definition है. Okay. Now let us come to the legislative framework. We'll be doing the mnemonics also, don't worry. Everything we'll try to recall and memorize in the class. In BOSF notes tab show 2022 notes. No, I will confirm that Ishwarya, don't worry if you have any such issue. Okay, Hina, that we have to see regarding the faculty. We have to see. Where can I see the feedback form? I'm also trying to get the link for the feedback from the my technical person. So in case I get the link, I will share it with you to share the feedback. Okay. If Nisarg, you have the link to the technical session, then you not technical, sorry, feedback. If you have the link to the feedback, if you can share it in the group because WhatsApp group link you had. So if you can share the link of the feedback form also, then it would be helpful for us. Okay, I think tech support person has mistakenly left. Maybe some error is there at his end. Okay. BOS showing 2022 notes. I have to confirm that, but because these notes are available, I will let you know. All of you, please join the group, and in the group also you can put this request for the feedback form link as well as the notes you can get. But I will be uploading it in my dashboard so that all of you can get them. If not in today's class, by next class you will definitely get it. I have to see which link is there. Okay, everybody is providing the same issue that notes are 2022 notes are being used. What is UTGST? Now I will start with the legislative framework, Satish. You will get to know what it is. So, just a minute. So let's start with the legislative framework. And regarding that notes issue, I will try to get it resolved and we'll try to contact the technical person if he can tell us that where can you get these notes from. Okay. So GST has, now we have seen there are two types of supplies under GST, interstate and intrastate supply. On intrastate supply, we either have to pay CGST plus SGST or CGST plus UTGST. On interstate supplies, we have to pay IGST. What is CGST? Central Goods and Services Tax. This is called central tax. SGST is State Goods and Services Tax. In fact, SGST you will generally find how it is named Delhi GST, or you can say Punjab GST. So that is SGST of Punjab, SGST of Delhi, State GST of Punjab, State GST of Delhi. So Punjab GST, Delhi GST, this way it is formed. UTGST is Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. And IGST is Integrated Goods and Services Tax. So out of these four taxes, which are the central legislation? Central का मतलब जो state specific नहीं है, center ही उनको बनाता है. Those legislations are made, those laws with regard to these taxes, laws are made by the center. CGST, UTGST, UTGST भी सेंटर बनाता है क्योंकि यूटी जो यूनियन टेरिटरीज होते हैं उसमें आपकी गवर्निंग पावर क्या होती है? गवर्नर इज दी रूलिंग अथॉरिटी. तो वहां पे भी सेंटर ही लॉज बनाता है. आईजीएसटी भी क्योंकि सेंट्रल लॉ है तो उसमें सेंटर मेक्स दी लॉज. ओनली एसजीएसटी इज मेड बाय दी इज ड्राफ्टेड और फॉर्मुलेटेड बाय दी स्टेट्स. ठीक है. सो दिस इज गिवन हियर. सो सेंटर का जो है वो लेवी, लेकिन उसको, ये तो लेजिस्लेशंस हो गई जिसको हम बोलते हैं सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशंस, स्टेट लेजिस्लेशंस। बट अब उनको लेवी कौन करता है, ये तो एक्ट बनाने की बात है, लॉ बनाने की बात है कि लॉ कौन बनाएगा, वो सेंटर बनाएगा या स्टेट बनाएगा। अब बात आती है कि लेवी कौन करेगा, हु विल लेवी द टैक्स। CGST is central government legislation. SGST means स्टेट, अब से SGST लगेगा कहाँ, SGST लगेगा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के केस में जहां पे आपकी जो ट्रांजेक्शन है वो स्टेट्स के बीच में हो रही है, या यूटीज विद लेजिस्लेचर, जिन यूनियन टेरिटरीज में लेजिस्लेचर होता है वो भी आपके स्टेट की डेफिनेशन है। दिस इज अ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट विच यू शुड नो अंडर जीएसटी लॉ, इनफैक्ट दिस इज अंडर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑल्सो, कि स्टेट में आपके एक तो व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय स्टेट, दैट इज देयर पंजाब, हरियाणा, उत्तर प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश, ऑल दीज आर स्टेट्स, वी हैव 29 states, plus your union territories which have their legislature. Now, which are these union territories? There are three such union territories. One is Delhi, one is Puducherry, and one is J&K. These are the three union territories which have their legislature. आपने दिल्ली में सुना होगा statehood का issue रहता है, there are because it is not a complete state. It is a union territory with legislature. ना complete state है, ना complete union territory है. It is, but under GST law it is considered as a state. ठीक है, कंप्लीट स्टेटहुड नहीं है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के हिसाब से, लेकिन स्टेट तो है क्योंकि लेजिस्लेचर यहाँ पे होता है, बट not complete in every sense. So governor also has substantial powers in these three union territories. And as per GST law, definition of state includes union territories with legislature. So this is the most important point. तो इन तीन union territories में क्या लेवी होगा? CGST तो इंट्रास्टेट ट्रांजेक्शन पे लगेगा ही लगेगा, जो सेंटर लगाएगा आपका, लेकिन जो स्टेट की तरफ से लगाया जाएगा वो SGST होगा। तो यूनियन टेरिटरी विद लेजिस्लेचर के केस में आप SGST लगाओगे, यानी दिल्ली GST जो SGST होगा, दिस विल बी एन SGST विच विल बी लेवीड हियर। स्टेट्स में तो SGST लगेगा ही लगेगा, वो तो बहुत ऑब्वियस सी बात है, लेकिन यूनियन टेरिटरी विद लेजिस्लेचर में भी स्टेट GST लगता है, because they are considered, they are included in the definition of state, they have their own legislature. I hope this point is clear to you all. If anybody has any doubt, because उसके बाद ही हम next point पे जाएंगे। अनुभव, I will take your doubt, don't worry. Let me complete this. UTGST, CGST के साथ UTGST कब लगेगा? जब ट्रांजेक्शन विद इन सेम यूनियन टेरिटरी हो रही है। अगर ट्रांजेक्शन विद इन सेम स्टेट है तो CGST प्लस SGST लगेगा, और वो स्टेट जो है या तो आपका कोई भी 29 स्टेट्स में से हो सकता है या इन तीन यूनियन टेरिटरीज विद लेजिस्लेचर में हो सकता है, देन इट विल बी CGST प्लस SGST। हाँ, मेसी हो गया ना ये, ओके। सो देन इट विल बी CGST प्लस SGST। अगर एक स्टेट में कोई ट्रांजेक्शन हो रहा है, ट्रांजेक्शन इज टेकिंग प्लेस विद इन सेम स्टेट, और उस स्टेट में भी इफ इट इज टेकिंग प्लेस विद इन सेम यूनियन टेरिटरी विद लेजिस्लेचर, देन इन दैट केस CGST plus SGST will be levied. However, if the transaction is taking place within same union territory, then CGST plus UTGST will be levied. Now, what are these union territories? Chandigarh, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. Then we have the Lakshadweep, Ladakh. These are the union territories as per the Andaman and Nicobar also. So these are union territories which are included in which, on which UTGST has to be levied. If a transaction is taking place between them, then UTGST has to be levied. Let me see. UTGST with legislature, you want me to repeat? Interstate transaction is called integrated. Why it is called? I have to see that, Nitin. Right now, I am not very sure. I have to see that. It is an integrated tax because here both center and state are levying the tax together. That is why it is called integrated, but it's an interstate transaction, so that could also be the reason. UTGST with legislature is a union territory where it has its own legislature. Otherwise, in case of the union territory, the governor is the ruler, or governor is the person who has all the powers. All the powers are concentrated at the governor's place. But in case of the you or they don't have, and they don't have any, their own legislatures are not there. In these three union territories, which you must have heard lot of times in news, and everybody knows because these are the three union territories only: Delhi, Puducherry, and Jammu and Kashmir. These union territories have governor rule also, plus their own legislature also. So governor also has substantial powers. Every state has a governor, but they don't have substantial powers. So the main, the body which legislates, which makes the legislations and everything which is done by these legislatures only. But in case of the union territories, the main power is with the governor. In case of union territories with legislatures, the primary power is with their legislatures. But this is always a tussle you will find in the news and everywhere, that there is always a tussle between the governor as well as the legislatures. Only thing is that we have to understand from the point of view of law, union territories which have their legislatures like states, they are considered as state under the GST law, and their state GST is imposed, SGST is imposed. In case the union territories are, apart from these three, all other union territories are union territories as per GST law, and their UTGST will be levied. Okay. What about IGST? IGST is an interstate transaction. So whether the transaction is between two states, two different states, two different union territories, or one state and one union territory. Now, this union territory, one is union territory, one is state. In that case, we will be implementing IGST. Then we have CGST plus SGST. Now, CGST rate is 20%, suppose, on a particular product. SGST rate is also 20%. Equivalent amount of SGST rate will be there. These two combined will be IGST rate. This is for sure. And the maximum rate of IGST, sorry, this will be 40%. Maximum rate of IGST will be 40%, and maximum rate for CGST and SGST will be 20% each. This is what law suggests. So within this purview, the tariff has been framed and rates have been decided. But you have nothing to do with the rates. Don't go on the rates. Only सिंपली जैसे समझना है कि सीजीएसटी और एसजीएसटी का रेट जो मिला के बनता है वो आपका आईजीएसटी का रेट होता है. 6% सीजीएसटी लग रहा है, 6% एसजीएसटी लग रहा है, तो आईजीएसटी का रेट 12% होता है. लेट मी सी योर डाउट्स. यूनियन टेरिटरी विद लेजिस्लेचर एक बार हिंदी में भी समझा देती हूँ, क्योंकि थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है. स्टेट्स आप सबको पता है क्या होता है, स्टेट हम सबको पता है. यूनियन टेरिटरीज भी पता है क्या होती हैं, लेकिन तीन ऐसी यूनियन टेरिटरीज हैं जिनका अपना लेजिस्लेचर है. स्टेट्स के पास अपना लेजिस्लेचर होता है जो सारे लॉज बनाता है, एग्जीक्यूट करता है, जो सारी लॉ मेकिंग पावर, जैसे पार्लियामेंट होता है ऐसी लेजिस्लेचर होता है स्टेट्स में. सेंटर के पास पार्लियामेंट है, लॉ मेकिंग बॉडी. स्टेट्स के पास लेजिस्लेचर है. तो स्टेट्स में लेजिस्लेचर है, सारे स्टेट्स तो स्टेट्स की डेफिनेशन में आएंगे. अब जो यूनियन टेरिटरीज में भी लेजिस्लेचर्स हैं उनको आप स्टेट्स की तरह ट्रीट करते हो जीएसटी लॉ में. तो स्टेट्स की डेफिनेशन क्या कहती है? सारे स्टेट्स प्लस यूनियन टेरिटरी विद लेजिस्लेचर्स. वो तीन है: दिल्ली, पुडुचेरी और जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. इन तीन यूनियन टेरिटरीज को भी आप स्टेट की तरह ट्रीट करोगे जीएसटी लॉ में. यानी कि जब आपकी कोई भी ट्रांजेक्शन इन तीन यूनियन टेरिटरीज में हो रही है, दिल्ली, पुडुचेरी एंड जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, टाइम एंड अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, दिल्ली, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड पुडुचेरी, तो यहाँ पर आपका एसजीएसटी ही लगेगा, क्योंकि ये स्टेट्स में आ जाते हैं. इनको हम स्टेट्स मानेंगे. इनके पास लेजिस्लेचर है, ये स्टेट है. स्टेट्स के पास लेजिस्लेचर होता है, वो स्टेट्स हैं. जिन यूनियन टेरिटरीज के पास लेजिस्लेचर है वो भी स्टेट है. तो ये सब स्टेट्स में आ जाते हैं. बाकी जो आपकी यूनियन टेरिटरीज बचती हैं, एक बार मैं आपको दिखा भी देती हूँ. आपको शायद by seeing the slide you will be knowing these are the union territories without legislature: Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. Okay, so these are the union territories which are as per the GST law. बाकी states में आते हैं जो कि पुडुचेरी, दिल्ली और जम्मू एंड कश्मीर है. सो जहां आपने ट्रांजेक्शन आपकी एक यूनियन टेरिटरी में हो रही है वहां पे आप सीजीएसटी प्लस यूटीजीएसटी लगाओगे. जहां पे आपकी ट्रांजेक्शन एक स्टेट के अंदर हो रही है वहां आप सीजीएसटी प्लस एसजीएसटी इंप्लीमेंट मतलब लेवी करोगे. जहां ट्रांजेक्शन इंटरस्टेट है वहां पर आईजीएसटी लेवी होगा. आई होप दिस क्लियर्स योर डाउट. अभी थोड़ा सा सब लोग एकदम सोच रहे हैं. नहीं, गोवा इज नॉट यूटी. ललित, गोवा इज नॉट यूटी. आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू अनम्यूट मी एज वेल एज आई ओके किनरी को मैं अनम्यूट कर सकती हूँ क्या? ओके, हाउ टू डू इट? किनरी, लेट मी सी. जस्ट अ मिनट. जो 2020 वाले नोट्स आ रहे हैं दैट वी विल सी कि उसको कैसे टेक केयर करना. दीज ऑल थिंग्स आई विल बी नोटिंग एंड आई विल बी टेलिंग यू इन नेक्स्ट क्लास. अच्छा, ठीक. Okay, I think most of you are clear with what we have done till now. Kinnedy, I'm just unmuting you so that you can ask your query. Till the time I'm seeing other doubts also. Harini, slide of Uttar State. Harini, what do you want to ask? Please tell me. I'm not sure. Unmute kar. So this is the mnemonic which I had framed for learning the names of the union territories without legislatures. CLAD, that is Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Andaman and Nicobar, and Dadar and Nagar Haveli. Because you should know the names, then only you will be able to levy the UTGST or SGST appropriately. CGST तो सब cases में लगेगा ही लगेगा. But किनरी, आपको unmute आप हो सकते हो.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, किनरी.
Ma'am, one of the feature, like the first feature of GST is it is destination based consumption tax. And ma'am, these days in and around, I hear very much reverse charge mechanism thing, which means that it is like origin based tax. So I am little confused with this thing.
नहीं किनरी, reverse charge mechanism is not origin based tax. Origin based tax का
And
मतलब
the
होता है.
one who is supplying is paying the tax over there.
No, let me explain you. वैसे ये बहुत आगे का टॉपिक है. क्विकली आई विल एक्सप्लेन क्योंकि बाकी सब लोग अभी थोड़ा इसी टॉपिक में ही है. बट लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू. रिवर्स चार्ज में क्या होता है? जीएसटी में द लाइबिलिटी टू डिपॉजिट द टैक्स इज कास्ट ऑन द सप्लायर. टैक्स कहाँ लग रहा है? वो अभी भी कंजम्पशन बेस्ड टैक्स है. जिस स्टेट में कंज्यूम हो रहा है वहीं टैक्स लगेगा. वो रिवर्स चार्ज और फॉरवर्ड चार्ज से उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. तो फॉर रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आई वांट टू टेल, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज विद रिवर्स चार्ज वर्ड की. अभी जो किनरी ने बताया, किनरी भी थोड़ा कंफ्यूज है, बट आप लोग भी कंफ्यूज मत होइएगा उससे. ये एकदम डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है. टैक्स वही चार्ज वहीं पे ही कंजम्पशन बेस्ड टैक्स ही है. कंजम्पशन बेस्ड कंजम्पशन वाले स्टेट में ही टैक्स लेवी हो रहा है. अब टैक्स को डिपॉजिट करने की कोई लाइबिलिटी कहीं पे इम्पोज करनी थी, वो सप्लायर को दे दी गई कि सप्लायर हैज टू इम्पोज डिपॉजिट द टैक्स विद द गवर्नमेंट. दैट इज द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ जीएसटी, दैट अंडर जीएसटी सप्लायर हैज टू डिपॉजिट द टैक्स. मैंने सेल किया है, मुझे टैक्स डिपॉजिट करना है. हाउ दी दैट इज गिवन टू दी स्टेट्स, दैट विल डू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. डोंट वरी, वो हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में बहुत अच्छे से करेंगे. नाउ इन अंडर रिवर्स चार्ज व्हाट इज देयर? ये डिपॉजिट करने की जो लाइबिलिटी है, दिस लाइबिलिटी टू डिपॉजिट द टैक्स, आई एम वंस अगेन यूजिंग द वर्ड डिपॉजिट. डिपॉजिट करने की लाइबिलिटी मेरे रेसिपिएंट को दे दी गई किसकी? इन सर्टेन स्पेसिफाइड केसेस. और वो जनरली तब होता है जब मुझे लगता है कि सप्लायर विल नॉट बी एबल टू डिपॉजिट, क्योंकि सप्लायर जो है ना वो अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर है. मतलब हमने जैसे आप कैब ड्राइवर्स या कुछ इस तरह का सेक्टर है. जीटीए है, पर वो बहुत स्मॉल जीटीएज हैं. उतना टर्नओवर उनका हो सकता है बड़ा हो, बट दे आर नॉट दैट ऑर्गेनाइज. तो उस केसेस में कई बार ऐसा किया गया कि रिसिपिएंट हैज बीन आस्क्ड कि आप टैक्स डिपॉजिट करोगे, बट टैक्स तो रिसिपिएंट ही हमेशा पे करता है. आई वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कि हु इज अल्टीमेटली गिविंग बियरिंग द बर्डन? ही इज द रिसिपिएंट. रिसिपिएंट के पॉकेट से लेके पहले सप्लायर पे करता था. रिवर्स चार्ज में क्या होता है कि हम रिसिपिएंट को बोल देते हैं आप डिपॉजिट कर देना. सिर्फ डिपॉजिट करने की जो लाइबिलिटी है वो चेंज होती है. टैक्स अभी भी कंजम्पशन वाले स्टेट में ही लेवी हो रहा है, लेवी वही हो रहा है, लेकिन जो डिपॉजिट करने की लाइबिलिटी है वो चेंज हो जाती है. तो दैट डज नॉट मीन कि आपका जो मतलब कंजम्पशन स्टेट चेंज हो जाता है. नहीं, दैट इज नॉट द केस. ओके. रिवर्स चार्ज मैकेनिज्म चार्ज और टैक्स में अच्छे से डिस्कस होगा. बिल्कुल उससे कंफ्यूज मत हो कि वो आपका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो चेंज हो जाता है. उसमें नहीं, कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्कुल चेंज नहीं होता उसके अंदर. कंजम्पशन बेस्ड टैक्स ही रहेगा जीएसटी, चाहे फॉरवर्ड चार्ज हो चाहे रिवर्स चार्ज हो. सिर्फ डिपॉजिट करने की लाइबिलिटी वो चेंज होती है बस उसके अंदर. ठीक है.
And ma'am, one more thing. It is a cascading, like there is no cascading here. That is, there is no tax on tax. But you mentioned that excise duty is still applicable in certain cases. So where this excise and customs are
वो
still
तो
applicable,
नहीं,
is
वो आपकी बात
GST
ठीक है।
still there?
अभी एक्साइज ड्यूटी, अभी वो थोड़ा सा अभी नेक्स्ट क्लास में ही करेंगे डिस्कस, लेकिन चलिए थोड़ा सा मतलब आई विल गिव यू एन आइडिया। एक्साइज ड्यूटी अभी कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स पे है, वहां उस एक्सटेंट तक देयर विल बी कैस्केडिंग। वो मतलब वो देयर आर सर्टेन डिसीजंस, देखिए बहुत सारे रीजंस होते हैं, डिप्लोमेसी इज आल्सो देयर, देन सर्टेन प्रोडक्ट्स दे आर नॉट एबल टू ब्रिंग इनटू जीएसटी पर, जैसे पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स 2017 से नाउ 2025 दे हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू ब्रिंग देम अंडर जीएसटी नेट। वहां पे अभी एक्साइज ड्यूटी वैट सब कुछ लग रहा है, और अगर आप उसको एज एन इनपुट खरीद रहे हो तो आपको उस पर टैक्स फिर से लगेगा। तो दैट कैस्केडिंग टू दैट एक्सटेंट वी कुड नॉट रिमूव, बट हाँ, to the extent it was possible, tax cascading has been removed, tax cascading has been prevented. Okay.
Ma'am, I know that certain products demand cascading, but my question
Not
is
demand, they
where
don't
there are
demand cascading.
cascading
There we could not
and
get,
all. Yeah,
remove
the
the excise
diplomacy
duty.
part.
हाँ, there
Yeah,
are
the
many reasons,
diplomacy
there are
part.
many reasons, मतलब there would be other reasons also. So one of the reasons I told you, but reason यही है कि वहां पर क्योंकि अभी जीएस एक्साइज ड्यूटी है या वहां पे भी वैट लग रहा है, तो वो कैस्केडिंग उस एक्सटेंट तक रहेगी।
Ma'am,
ओके।
my question is where these such taxes are still applicable, is GST also included in those taxes? Like साथ साथ जीएसटी भी पे करना पड़ता है
कुछ
क्या?
प्रोडक्ट पे
चाहे
है।
उनको क्रेडिट मिलते, चाहे उनको क्रेडिट मिल जाती होगी उनकी, बट लाइक कि ऐसे एग्जांपल, ऐसी ऐसे कोई केसेस है जहाँ पे एक्साइज भी लग रही है, कस्टम्स भी लग रहा है, कस्टम्स और जीएसटी लगता है मुझे पता है,
कस्टम्स तो
एक्साइज
अलग हो
में भी
गया जब आप इंपोर्ट करोगे। हाँ।
हाँ, उसमें इंपोर्ट करने के बाद हम उसे इंडिया में वापस सेल करने वक्त जीएसटी लगता है, आई नो।
हम्म।
लेकिन सपोज कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट है, जैसे इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकिंग शायद अल्कोहलिक कंजम्पशन पे जीएसटी
दिस इज
नहीं है।
आउटसाइड जीएसटी। तो उसके ऊपर देखो,
या
हाँ, एल्कोहलिक कंजम्पशन, एल्कोहलिक लिकर फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन जैसे अब इसका एग्जांपल है, वो तो इट इज
हाँ
आउटसाइड द परव्यू ऑफ जीएसटी। तो उसके ऊपर जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा, उसके ऊपर जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा।
ओके
एल्कोहलिक लिकर फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन इज आउटसाइड द परव्यू, लेकिन टबैको, टबैको के ऊपर लगता है। टबैको के
हाँ,
ऊपर आपका एक्साइज जीएसटी भी लगता
एक्साइज
है
भी
और
लगता
एक्साइज
है।
ड्यूटी भी लगती है, तो ऐसे
ओके,
प्रोडक्ट्स
हाँ,
भी
बस
हैं।
यही एक
बट
कंफ्यूजन।
हाँ, यही कंफ्यूजन है ना, पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स भी लग रहा है, ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं। देखो वो जो बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट है दैट इज प्राइमरली एप्लीकेबल, बट नॉट फॉर ईच एंड एवरी प्रोडक्ट, आई कैन नॉट से। अभी कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, बट ठीक है, दैट इज डिसीजंस विल बी टेकन थ्रू रिगार्डिंग दैट। तो अभी हम आगे क्वेरीज पे मूव करें। आपकी क्वेरी हो गई सॉल्व, किनरी?
यस मैम, थैंक यू।
Okay, please mute yourself, please, Kinnari, then.
यस
Okay. Okay. Nitin earlier asked UTs without legislature for UTs who have power of taxation. Can you, Nitin? I think your query now would have resolved. I have once again explained UTs with GST and without GST. RCM, Nehal is saying recipient will deposit tax and take credit on by. Yes, you're right, Nehal. You're right about RCM. And let me see if any other doubt is there. Otherwise, we'll take all rest of the things in next class. Anubhav, you have summarized it properly. UTs with legislature without no CM but Lieutenant Governor. In UTs with legislature, CM Chief Minister will be there, plus Governor will also be there. Governor is there for every state. Okay, Anubhav, I will try that. If somebody asks a doubt, then okay. And Nausheen is saying, thanks a lot, ma'am. You taught us so well. I enjoyed this class. Thank you, Nausheen. Before taking the class, I was scared with this subject. Now you made it easy for me. I am very happy to know that, Nausheen, because that was my ultimate objective. And with this, this is the mnemonics which I have shared for union territories with legislature and without legislature. I will give it in the notes also, so you can refer that. And after that, rest of the topics we'll take in next class. Please join on time. And we will be having one GST quiz also. So as I suggested, please log in through one. You have one more device with you handy. And at the end of the session, we'll be having that GST Titan quiz. One of you will be GST Titan of the day. In that, till that, I request all of you to share the feedback also. And how did you find this class? In case you need any changes, you feel that something needs to be changed, something you found interesting, something you want to be continued. Thank you, Kinnari. So you are sorted with the subject now and you enjoyed. Anubhav, very insightful session. You found it insightful. Thank you. Thank you, Nehal. Oh, Muzahid saying this session clear. So you are happy with that. Good. Harsh is saying you made the subject really easy. Thank you, Harsh. for your kind words. Shraddha is also saying interesting class. If you're finding the class interesting, then my objective is served. I want to make the concept easy for you. Plus, I want to make the concept interesting for you. So if these two objectives are fulfilled, I think the practice we'll be doing the questions also in next session. Thank you, Anita. You enjoyed the session. And I request all of you to fill the feedback form also. In next class, we'll be sharing the feedback link also. Today I did not have it. And regarding the notes which have to be uploaded, if you all of you have joined, if you have joined the WhatsApp group, I will try to put the information in the WhatsApp group also. If possible, I will put the information in WhatsApp group. I thought GST is like a hill, Ishwarya is saying, but now I get little confidence in this subject. Okay, at least you got the little confidence, Ishwarya. That's fine with me if you have got the little confidence. Saipa is saying very good session. Looking forward for more classes. Thank you, Saipa. Thank you so much. And let me see if anybody has to say anything. Ma'am, the subject become friendly to me. Thank you for that. Even my material is changed. Okay, Aishwarya. Okay, you got it done through CDS, is it? So thank you, Aishwarya. And Rudra. Rudra Jaina is saying very well, class. Okay. So with this, I think we can wind up the class now. And all of you, after this class, please go through the session. Please go through the notes which I would be uploading, plus the study material chapter also. That will give you the clarity. In next session, as I told you, we'll discuss rest of the concepts of GST in India introduction chapter, which is chapter 1. Plus, we will be having a GST Titan quiz. Be prepared for it. That will be very, very interesting, and that will not only be a game, it will be actually clearing your concepts also for the chapter. So in a very fun manner, you will not realize that you have revised so many concepts, you have understood so many new concepts, your concepts have become clear through that quiz. So that we will be taking in next class. Okay. Will whole taxation subject gets over by January? Harini, that we'll let you know once we upload the entire session plan. We'll know. Actually, I'm direct entry in from Hindi medium. You taught Hindi too. Okay, thank you, Noshin. You found this Hindi English mix good. You found it comfortable. Okay, thank you, Kinnari. And Sony Srivastav is saying thank you, ma'am. It was a great session. Thank you, Sony. Geeta Mudi Goda is saying thank you. Thank you, Geeta. If we try writing questions from RTP and MTP, Pratiksha is asking, can we share them with you for review and feedback? Pratiksha, I will share with you how to write the questions. Okay, if time permits, not in next session, in some of these sessions in between. These classes will go on for a long time. Don't worry. I will share how to write the questions also. In fact, we have success at CA exams sessions, especially dedicated sessions before each examination. For September 25, we'll have these sessions. Next week, they are planned. In coming weeks, they are planned. And same sessions we'll have for January, for May 26. So any of those sessions you can watch, for all the subjects, you can watch them and you will get to know how to write the answers. What are the points you need to remember before examination? Very useful sessions they are. So you should watch those sessions. Thank you, Mustafa. You found the lecture great. And खुशनूर हिंदी में मैम हिंदी इंग्लिश अच्छे से समझ आ रहा है इन हिंदी इंग्लिश अच्छे से समझ में आ रहा है चलो गुड खुशनूर दैट इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू नो कि the style of teaching, whether anything you want to share. Thank you, Prerna. Uh, So I hope all your doubts are cleared, and in next class we'll meet once again. Kartik is saying, please let me know how to make notes in a way so that we can recall all the syllabus day before exams. If time permits, I will take it in next class how to do that, because वो आप अगर एक बार सीख जाओगे तो आपको कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी। और जो नोट्स आप खुद बनाते हो कभी याद ही नहीं करने पड़ते, वो तो आपको याद ही होते हैं हमेशा। जैसे ही आप वो नोट्स को खुद बना के देखोगे ना, यू विल फ्लिप द पेजेस और आपको एकदम सब याद आ जाएगा। तो वो अगर आप एक चैप्टर के लिए वो एक्सरसाइज करके देखोगे, दो वी हैव पुट लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट्स इन सारांश, लेकिन अगर आपने खुद से किया ये नोट्स वाला काम तो आपको बहुत बहुत यूजफुल रहेगा। दैट इज आई ऑलवेज सजेस्ट प्रिपेयर योर ओन नोट्स। उससे जो आपकी रिटेंशन, जो राइटिंग स्किल्स इंप्रूव होंगे, वो किसी चीज से नहीं हो सकते। व्यूअर्स ऐप में जो नोट्स का इशू आपने बताया है सबने, दैट आई विल डेफिनेटली टेक केयर ऑफ, विल सी। एंड थैंक यू ऐश्वर्या, यू फाउंड द क्लास यूजफुल। I hope with this we can end the class. Nitin, You can attend these classes. That is not an issue. Okay. You can make digital notes also, Karthik. That is up to you. And you are for English studies, I will give you, Mustafa. You are doing Gujarati and English studies. I don't have any idea. Sorry. For English studies, where can you go? But WhatsApp group, you all can join. Once again, the link has been shared with you all. Just now we have shared the link. Nisarg Tech Support has shared the link, so please join it. So with this, we come to an end of this session. Thank you so much. Thank you, students. We'll meet in the next class on Saturday. So till then, all of you can revise whatever we have done. So with this, we come to an end of the session. Nisarg, we can end the session.